Good morning, Sasu fam, and welcome to your Sunday check-in. I hope you're well. I hope you're fabulous. I do hope the lighting's okay. I can never really tell sometimes. Not a lighting technician, right? I read the cards, I write, I drink a lot of tea and coffee, but lighting in terms of setting up for video function, well, not exactly my strong suit, but hopefully it's okay, because I'll tell you why. Lighting's such an interesting thing when recording, because there can be a big difference just an hour that separates morning to afternoon. Never mind what it can look like in here when we're expecting a big old thunderstorm to roll through any second. Oh, yes. But it's quite gray outside, very dark, so if there's extra shadows in here or if there's too much of a glare because of the compensation lights, well, there you go. But hopefully it's okay. I'm sure you've noticed that on Sunday I rotate the check-in for yours and theirs, and then the general overview, which is just essentially an energetic snapshot of the next week or two. That being said, I get questions about, is it a bi-weekly thing? Like, okay, yeah, technically it is. So just to make things easier on what this reading type represents, instead of calling it a general overview, I will just call it the bi-weekly check-in, aim it towards its intended purpose. But there's that. That's what we're doing today. It's still a 9-card baseline, and I will clarify those segments, oracles, charms, the whole thing. With this check-in, like most check-ins, right? Take what resonates, leave what does not. And in this one, we're not really trying to look at someone else's energy. If a them or they pops up, cool, I'll report it. But do keep in mind this is about your collective's core energy today. Yeah? But yeah, if a them or they pops up, then you reverse those energies as you see fit. But there you go. And do keep in mind these are general collective readings, not one-to-one private, which is to say they may not resonate at all, which I know is frustrating, right? But it also happens. And if that indeed is the case, then you check your other placements. You will find yourself in there somewhere. Okay. Any notes, any catch-up notes to share? Oh, on this sighting. Yeah. All the estimates came in, and I am authentically excited. I really am. The energy kind of shifted from, this is something I got to do, to, you know what? I'm kind of looking forward to this. I say that now. But in 5 weeks from now, which is when I've been slated to get the work done, I just have this image in my mind of a money pit type situation. Great movie, by the way, with Tom Hanks, and I don't remember the actress's name. She's great, though. I think that's anybody who's ever had to do like large scale work on the house. If you've ever seen that, that's the first thing that comes to mind, right? These two people close to losing their minds. And it's like, oh, it's just a couple of weeks. No. But it's like, and I had that movie running through my mind as I'm listening to these folks. And they're like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And I'm just like, oh, here we go. But no, it started out initially as a stressful thing. But I'm like, you know what? No, it's going to be good. It's going to be great. It's going to look great. I'm kind of excited. It's going to be cool. You know what? I have a good feeling about this. Yeah, that might be my epitaph. I have a good feeling about this. But the actual work probably won't begin until late May to the first week of June, and I'm fine with that. I'm not in a rush, but it does need to get done. All right, you guys, speaking of which, that is it. Yeah? Let's get on into your readings. I will see you for the Thursday check-in for some shorts, and I will see you at your sign. Take care. Be well. Leo, what's up? What's going on? Let's take a look at Leo, please. What's going on, please? For Leo. Okay. Six of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. Look at you. Cool. All right. King of Cups, Two of Wands, and the Moon. Yeah. Okay. Ace of Swords, the World, and Justice. I like your opening. And the Leo I'm looking at, you look pretty comfortable. You look pretty happy. You look content. I like it. It's a good feeling. Six of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Knight of Wands. Like I said, you look very content. And just in that sense of, yeah, I got stuff going on and I like it. Like, I like being me. I got some good balances here. There's a good sense of give and take going on in my life. Again, just a sense of, you know what? Everything is where it should be. Nothing's out of place. Everything's exactly how I like it. And frankly, again, I just feel good about it. And you know what? Your energy's even a little perky there with the Knight of Wands. You're like, things are working out for me just so. Love it. I like that. I like that. You know what? Things are kind of smooth for you. So it's even like you got energy to spare in that sense of just feeling good, feeling perky, feeling alive, trying things out, maintaining some good balances here. I'm pretty happy. I'm a pretty happy Leo. I believe you. Look at that. Don't you? Isn't it nice when things are just freaking smooth? Yes. King of Cups, Two of Wands, the Moon. Now that's interesting. You got some kind of decision here from the heart. Regarding the moon, to your credit, you're looking at it. I'm curious. I'm curious about what you're feeling in your more quiet self, your more secret self, your more moon self. But you are looking at that moon. Okay? The stuff that's, like I said, it runs a little bit more on the quiet side. And there's really kind of two types of moons. The ones that we're aware of. I'm keeping this to myself. It's very, very quiet. It's very, very private. So what I would call an active secret. And then there's stuff we're completely oblivious to. We kind of want to keep it that way for a reason. It's like I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to acknowledge it. I don't want to think my thoughts on that. I don't want to feel my feelings on that. Thank you. And it just gets shoved under the moon. Yours is like I'm feeling some secret feelings. Leave me alone. Oh, and they're quiet. They're quiet. Some of you have a lot of water in your chart, FYI. I'm going to be a little nosy and we're going to poke around in there and see what you're quietly contemplating from the heart. Okay? That's part of the job. Ace of Swords, the World, Justice. Okay. It's kind of like saying, this is what I used to know. This is what I know now. Okay. You're saying it's correct. And it is true. Ace of Swords are never really finalized. I mean, we all have our own particular truths. And I would call them hard truths because they're typically not easily earned. Okay. That's changing a little bit. It's like, this is what I knew. What I would say I'm prepared to act on as well. It's not just truth. It's also an action. That sword is. It's like that. I'm not doing that anymore. Okay. That thought no longer applies. That action no longer applies. And that's okay. There's something here that represents correctness versus what you used to think or do. We're more correct these days. Okay, interesting couple of weeks for you. We're going to start right back here. I'm not saying you're perfect, but I like your energy. Isn't it just, like I said, doesn't it just feel good when things are kind of like smooth? Like, yeah. And it gives you space. It gives you space to open up a little bit and stretch out those feelings and just that sense of, man, I can kind of move on my time and in my space and move around, and express myself a little bit. Maybe have some fun. The Knights of Cups, Judgment. Oh, the King of Wands. Oh, yeah. Good. You feel good and you know that you feel good. I like that. There's a softening in your heart that you're recognizing, too. It is coming across as, you know what, I'm in a good space. Literally, you're in a good space for the Leo I'm looking at. You're telling me. This is what you're telling me. Like, I'm in a good space. And you're right. I am feeling a little more extra perky these days. A sense of confidence. Achievement is here, and it's all rolling into that, which is making you feel secure in your 3D world and then emotionally secure. So there is a sense of Judgment, Knights of Cups. Some of you are feeling a softness in your heart that's kind of like, okay, well, this is happening. And again, that's coming from a space of recognizing in you, in your situation, that I'm secure. I'm a secure Leo. I got things in just the right space. So some of you are showing me a softness in your heart that you're kind of like, okay, that's what's up. I'm feeling a little expressive. I'm feeling maybe a little, it's going into the side of vulnerable. It's going into the side of even romantic, you know? And again, that's coming from, I know where I'm at. I feel pretty good. But you know what's interesting is that you're looking at it from the point of view of judgment. Is this me relaxing? Is this me opening up? Is this me wanting to express myself in that way? Because like I said, you're leaving yourself some room to exercise some movement there. Something that feels good to you. In more than one way. Okay. That's so interesting. I'm not saying you look surprised, but it is in that space of, look at that. My heart space is feeling a little soft these days. You're thinking about something, deploying a knight, expressing your Knights of Cups. You're saying you got the space to do it. Cool. All right then. King of Cups, Two of Wands, the Moon. Like I said, you were looking at it, feeling it specifically. Okay, what's going on in there? What's going on in there? We're thinking, or rather feeling, that we can open up in a way that's soft. So it's giving you room then to look at something that you maybe have put away for a little bit. What's up? Two of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, the Seven of Cups. Oh, so here we have some reflection here. Okay, so again, it's not a surprise. It's more like, this is where I'm at. I didn't necessarily expect to be feeling this. That's cool. All right. Because I see you contemplating Two of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, Seven of Cups, because it's kind of coming from the space of, I was never really going to consider opening up. I don't know where that's coming from, but I could definitely see where you put that under the Moon. It's kind of like my heart space will never relax again. Kind of like my way of saying, you know, I'm never going to get to put my hair down again. It's just, I can never relax, you know. No, there's something here about your heart space. You did not anticipate for your heart space to relax, to pursue options. You're like, you had your guard up around that concept. You found it to be impossible, but that was part of your Moon structure. Rough translation. You're kind of low-key surprised to find that you're leaning in the direction of opening up and being vulnerable and feeling strong feelings that are normal and natural. And that's because somewhere a part of you was options in love, that's not feasible, that's not going to happen, it's impossible for me. No, just better to deflect those options. They're not options, actually. And in a way, you were quite guarded around the subject for a long time. So, to your credit, I see that's a King of Cups. Okay, this is what I'm actually feeling. I am being open and receptive to love. Is this what I'm really feeling? Because I kind of assumed this to be true for a while. In other words, it wasn't necessarily correct, but it's what you needed to be true at some point in your timeline. Okay. All right. So you're kind of re-examining this theory of why opening up or why pursuing options in love was just ridiculous or not for you or is never going to happen again. You're looking at it from a more developed or mature heart space. In other words, I told you, you feel safe to do so. Things feel secure for you. You're kind of opening up to that. So is it time, Leo, honey? Is it time? That's the question. Seems to be. Ace of Swords, the World, Justice. Now that's interesting. Yeah, that would explain your kind of altered truth. That Ace of Swords, that truth, you know, opening up the heart space, that's not feasible. It's not going to happen. It'll never happen. Again, I don't need to worry about it. Just put that away. Just tuck that away gently under the Moon. Let's not question it. That was a truth for some of you. It was an old truth. It's a former truth. former truth. It worked for you then. It's not working for you now. So good job. Good job. Good job in understanding how your truth has changed because you were willing to look at it. You know? You have this feeling of openness more today than you've had in a long time. You took it back to plate, if you will, re-examined it, and you came back with different results. Good. That means you were willing to listen to or look at new evidence about yourself. That's cool. Good. You'd be surprised once somebody draws an Ace of Swords, they're like, I'm going to roll with that indefinitely. And you're like, no, no, no. I've been presented new evidence. I got to look at it. I got to feel it. Good job. Ace of Swords, the world, justice. What's up? Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Okay, I got you, honey. Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Swords. How some of you came to be on your own, that was a painful story. I understand. And it was that painful story with the Ten of Swords that led you to that crystallized sword. Okay, Ace of Swords. In other words, this was a decision, therefore an action that made sense to you then. Okay? At some point you found yourself painfully on your own, and that altered, or rather led you to a conclusion that was that particular Ace of Swords. Well, this is how it's going to be, this is how it's going to stay. I'm never doing this again. So thankfully that cycle of knowledge is closing out because it doesn't suit you anymore. Okay, then let's take a look at, I like how that distinctly fell out for that. Then let's see your justice now. Because I think it's also interesting to note how your world stands as the perfect proposition for the closing door concept. And we're opening up to a more balanced state of spiritual self, where you actually find yourself acknowledging it. I've seen all that for you, which is beautiful. So I like then how you are lining up here emotionally, spiritually, mentally. The Emperor, the Two of Wands, the Hierophant, yeah, oh my gosh, wow, that's lovely, the way you're lining up. Wow, feeling a lot more empowered, a lot more correct. The Hierophant, you want to commit to new ideas. You want to stand up for a particular belief system that you are looking at, getting reacquainted with, reevaluating in you, which is lovely. It's beautiful. You're like, this is what I stand up for. This is what I abide by. This is how I make decisions. This is what I actually believe. So you're like, these are the old thoughts and actions, okay, and to a lesser extent your belief systems, but you're saying this is who you really are, and you're much more at peace with that soon. You're going to start making decisions that are correct for you and a little bit more directive of who you really are. Whereas like Leo back here, at least in terms of emotionality, took a break. And I see you getting back to that which is important to you. FYI, that's a lot of power structure in there. I don't think that's just you. If I'm being honest with you, I see you reflecting outward. I don't know who we're speaking with, but you're saying that's who I want to talk to right now. I just see them kind of putting back onto you the confirmation of what you're experiencing. I don't know what it goes beyond in terms of that, but I see someone here validating your current experiences and saying, oh yeah, no, that makes perfect sense, Leo. No, this is who you really are. This is what you really believe in. And, you know, I can see where you used to think that and you used to feel that, but it's no more. You're absolutely correct. You're dead on bang. This is who you really are. And I see that in you. I've always seen that in you. Something like that. Okay. It's good. It's not that you need this person's approval or validation. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I see someone giving you that confirmation. Okay. And this is someone whom we can trust with that level of knowledge and or insight. But it seems like you're receiving some sort of influence. It does look spiritual. Okay? Okay. Good job. So, this portion, how it actually gets expressed, I don't know. That's another reading for another day. But I see your heart more inclined to open up in that way of, well, you know what way. Do you really need the tarot lady to tell you? You know what way. But how this looks, that's a little further out. I just kind of see like, you know what? I'm more open for business in that way today than I was yesterday or a year before. For some of you, it's been 2 years. Just FYI, sometimes I see time markers, sometimes I don't. But for some of you, it's been 2 years. And in that space, we've kind of hidden our emotions. Particularly, again, about the feasibility of ever opening up from the heart again. I like this a lot, though. This is so indicative to you. Okay. Alrighty. Renewal. The renewal of the spark. This is the one I was meant to see. Okay. The renewal of the spark. I see that in you. It's that time. That's what. Yeah. I'm not. I understand. There were some issues here regarding a separation. I understand. And you experienced it as well. We don't need to go back over that. But the renewal there, that's what I'm supposed to see. The renewal of the spark in you. Okay? Let's pull the Moonology for you. First quarter moon in Cancer, push through any insecurity, just the representation of that moon structure there. New moon in Capricorn, step up and lead, and that's where many of you have been in terms of your everyday balances. And then I see it further out here in terms of you leading yourself back into the sense of core beliefs or values that you actually believe in. Again, once more, getting reacquainted with who you really are and what you really believe. Okay, that was a temporary Ace of Swords then. Last quarter moon in Sagittarius, practice gratitude, always. All right. We have the letters R, P, M, J, Z, and we also have the Medallion of Taurus in the reverse, the keyword here being the incentivizer. For some of you, you're experiencing this now, yes, while we are in Taurus season. And then also you might have some very strong Taurus in your chart, could be connecting to, or their season might be important to you. Okay, Leo, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments, take care, be well. Sag, welcome to your check-in. What's going on, please? Show me, Sagittarius. What's going on? Show me, Saggy, please. What's going on for Sagittarius? Okay, Page of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, and the Tower. Okay. Yeah, I know it gets real sometimes. I know. Okay, Four of Pentacles, the Moon, and the Ace of Wands. The Sun, Ten of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. Man, I'll tell you what. So many of you have already experienced this. This shouldn't be too much of a shock for you. So it's how you're going to know if it's yours or not. Because this has already happened. There's been some kind of a shocking revelation in what looks like a 3D structure. We'll call it work for now, but you take it as it resonates. There's been like, wait, what's going on? There's been some upheaval here, okay? There is a sense here of issues with that 3D structure. It's shaky. It's a little shaky. Page of Pentacles suggests we can put more into this, maybe. But it looks like we're holding on tight to this for now. Four of Pentacles, the Moon, the Ace of Wands. It's kind of like saying I'm holding on to this. I don't know how this is going to end up. I hope it's good, though. Ace of Wands. I hope we can make this work. I do. But my job here is to hold on to this and give to it. And see that it gets better. Do my part to see that I can lend to this. To get it back on course, I don't know. The Sun, Ten of Swords, Eight of Pentacles. Okay. There's frustration here. You will have good days and you will have hard days. but the days will improve, and whatever this is. 8 of Pentacles, again, coming across this work structure. We have the indication here, something's amiss, something's not working out, or it's not going well. Okay? It's not all baby out with the bathwater, though. You're like, I'm not going nowhere. 4 of Pentacles, the Moon, Ace of Wands. Underneath the Moon, you're actually showing me positive energy. It's kind of like instead of my worst fears, you're actually like, it's a tentative hope, but I am holding on to this. Okay? Okay. And then the Sun, 10 of Swords, 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, there is signs of improvement. There are signs of life. But some days it gets difficult with the 10 of Swords. Nevertheless, I see you again once more with that Sagittarian characteristic for optimism, putting some good energy into this because you intend to get good results from it. Okay? That tells me straight away that this means something to you. You're like, I'm going to stick to this. I'm not going to just give up. I'm not going to just quit. Okay? I'm going to hold on to it. And secretly, I hope things get better here. But for now, I'm going to put in the effort, and that's what we're going to do. Okay. Page of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, the Tower. But you take this as it resonates. Technically, in terms of that pentacle, anything could not be working out. Comes in as a bit of a shock. There's something here about the influence, time, energy, and effort that didn't make as much as a difference as we had hoped. Page of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, the Tower. Let's talk about it. What's going on? Page of Cups, the 8 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Cups. Okay. We had thought everything was going pretty well. That's what we had thought. That this was a harmonized thing. Again, work. That this was harmonized, though, 10 of Cups, that everybody was happy and that all was going well. Okay? Reality is something's off at work. All right? But you were like, I was already putting my best into this already. You know, I was already trying to make things work to the best of my abilities, i.e. I thought I was doing my job. Okay? And you bring a lot of optimism, like I said, to the table. And there is a sense that many bring their best to this, or try to. That was your point of view. But there's been some delivery recently of news that, okay, one or more people aren't doing their parts, or there's something fundamentally wrong with that particular work structure. Okay? But it's kind of news to you. It really is news to you. And I can tell you why it's news to you, is because from your perspective, you were giving your best to this already. Okay? And also from your point of view, you had figured others were as well. That everyone was doing their part. All right, 4 of Pentacles, the Moon. Ace of Wands. Six of Cups, the Chariot, 7 of Wands. You're telling someone you care about very distinctly that you're not going nowhere. Not yet. You're going to ride this thing out. It's not really about someone's approval or disapproval, but it is someone whom you are close to, where you're saying, look, I got to tell you, I'm not going nowhere. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to put good work into this, because there's a part of you that believes, that authentically you believe that things will work out. So I don't know who you're having a little talk sesh with, but you said, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not moving on from this. It means too much to me. I have a long history with it. I believe in it in many ways still. And you do. You really, really do. There's parts of it you keep to yourself quietly with the moon, but for the most part, you put optimism back into this. Okay, a sense of goodwill and character back into this. So you're saying it's, I'm going to put more of myself into this. I'm going to hold on to it. I'm not going nowhere. Not for now. Okay? Apparently, it was your choice to leave this already, or some time ago, and you chose not to. You're saying this is one of the things that make you, this particular structure. But you could have moved on from it some time ago. You've chose not to. You said it goes, you have a history with it. Whatever it is, you have a history with it. For some of you, whatever this represents is more of a, because I see how it affects many lives. It represents some sort of community endeavor. Okay? But yeah, you're saying you could have moved on from this a long time ago, but it means a lot to you. You got a lot of memory with it. You work with some good people in there. And you're also saying whatever this is kind of secretly satisfies you too. You're saying there's a creative element involved in this for which you get to express, contribute and be part of. But no, it was your option to leave this a long time ago. You didn't have to stay already. And you're still choosing to stay, which is admirable. Okay. The Sun, Ten of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. Whatever this occupation is, but maybe for some of you it's not your main gig, but you put a lot of yourself into it, so you could have fooled me. It represents, if anything else, a piece of nostalgia for some of you. You've learned to identify a big part of who you are with a lot of people that you've connected to. But yeah, no, you could have left it a long time ago. The Sun, Ten of Swords, Eight of Pentacles. Oh, Tower in reverse, Seven of Cups, the Ace of Swords. Reversed. Okay. That's interesting. The Tower came out in reverse. If that's the way it is, then that's the way it is. There's that Tower reversed. A fear here that it's not going to work out. You're disproving that theory a little more every day. Wow. Wow. A bit of a shock here. You really thought things were going well. So there's something here about the structure then that's off. But with some dedication of work and good energy, it seems it can be overturned. The fortune of whatever this is can be overturned. Okay. But the Sun, Ten of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, there will be hard days. Not easy days. But you're determined to put work into this to make the sun shine on it once more. It looks like for the sides I'm looking at, I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm really not. That's you. But with some good work put into this, like your best effort, you, for the person I'm looking at, really can make the difference here. Isn't that quite dramatic? But one person can make a big difference. Apparently that's you. That's some mind-blowing shit right there. This is the stuff people pay good money for, and I always have to tell people the cards are the cards are the cards. Honey, I don't know what it is you're rocking other than that spirit of experience, which you got a lot of. Like, again, this does not feel like your main gig, but you throw yourself into it like it is. And I could say you have a lot of emotional memory built into this. It means a lot to you. And as there's many involved here, so it kind of has a community feel. You showed me creative components. You showed me, nostalgic components. And you even showed me you could have moved on from this a long time ago because, let's face it, whatever this is, isn't as profitable as most people would like it to be. But you're saying it does something for you. So you've always put some good quality energy into this. You've always done your part. You assumed others did the same. Something about the structure of this work thing, this project, it could be a community work, community project work. It could be something more akin to or aligned to, say, nonprofit, which, again, it doesn't give a lot already, but you still put your best into it if it means something to you. So you're showing me those values of this is more than a paycheck to me. If it was just about a paycheck, I could have left this a long time ago. So you're showing me how the quality of one person's work can make a big difference in this. So this you're showing me is, I got to dig deep. Okay. I'm going to put in the extra time. My days are going to get really long. It's going to get sucky. But you know what? It means something to me. And that one person, which is you once more, is going to make a big difference between that tower upon initial chakra presentation and you literally helping to reverse it. So I don't know if we got some news here, whatever this is, and it's presenting us a little bit more doomsday from whoever is presenting it to you. But it is a bit negative. Yes, it is a bit down the spiral on initial presentation. And you absolutely do your part 1,000% in reality and in energetically to overturn that news. So there is something here about the structural integrity of this is off in some way. It's presented as a negative, but yes, a negative that can be overturned with conscientious effort. Okay, wow, that's some good shit. This is the kind of stuff where I'm like, damn. Because I don't get to see stuff like this too often, Saggy honey. I'm not trying to call you a miracle worker, but those are kind of my initial words that are trying to exit my mouth right now. But look at that. I saw it right there, too. This is the best of what I can do. But what I think is interesting right here, you're saying you could have left this over and you kind of keep that, you could have left this a long time ago and you kind of keep that to yourself. But this sparks something in you that's really hard to understand maybe or replicate elsewhere. And that's special, I agree with you. That is 1,000% special and unique. It allows you to craft your talents in a way that says, this is creative, this is a good representation of me. It allows you some of your energy to come to the forefront in a way that says just recognition that goes beyond a paycheck. So again, the value system for this is higher than the payout is. Trust me, I know a high payout when I see one, honey. And I'm not, so what I'm saying is that for the side I'm looking at, it's worthy for you in your eyes because of what it does for you. And that's the difference between a job and like a passion. That's the difference between a paycheck and a career. So this is some good quality stuff, okay? This is some good quality stuff, my friend. Wow. It's so confusing about the outcome. But it seems that that tower is reversed. It's like failure's not an option here. You ever dug deep like that? Failure's not an option? Sorry, I got to move on. But wow. Ace of Swords, your particular truth. And acting in accordance to it. You also have some very heavy air in your chart. Karmic partner. Yeah, I know. There's someone here you're referring to. And again, you're not looking for their approval, but you are making your intentions clear. I'm not leaving this. Okay? This person gets direct access to your truth and therefore a reflection of your actions in accordance to that truth. So we trust this person. Here in the karmic partner, it's not necessarily in the negative. It's just this is someone whom we're connected to and we're telling our thoughts to. And they might even be that person who best intentions are encouraging you to leave or leave this behind. And you're like, no, I could have done that a long time ago. I chose not to. Remember? So there you go. And it could be that you get some good truth in that person too. Ace of Swords. They might give you some solid info to work with. Okay. Confirm your decision. Back up your decision. Not just be oppositional to it. Who knows? But there's some good thoughts in there. Clear your mind. Last quarter moon in Gemini. So you have some very interesting Gemini in your chart. Okay. We have the letters E. W is the we thing. This is not an I thing. I can kind of see that in you for sure. But W-E, we have the captain's wheel, the wheel of fortune with the combination of the world. Time moves forward always. In between, time moving forward, or in between, but as is, doors close, doors open, and you're like, this door ain't closing. It will remain open. You got it, boo-boo. You got it. Yeah, the chakra's not in alignment here. That's what I'm saying. The structural integrity of whatever this is off in some way. It's presented. It's kind of presented as a small worst-case scenario. And you're like, I thought, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, but there you go. You overturn that, it seems, directly via your influence. And someone's going to say, we haven't had any luck in this, that, and the other. You're like, sometimes luck is what you make of it. Okay. We have the medallion here of Leo. It's in the reverse. The keyword here being generous. Let's see that you're very generous with whatever this is. You don't have to. You choose to. Big difference. We talked about why. But you might have some very strong Leo in your chart. Could be connecting to. And the season might be important to some of you. Okay? And for others of you, that represents by the time we are in Leo season or the sun when it's in the highest in the sky, depending on when that time of year is for you. That's when you see the turnaround in this thing. Okay? Saji, honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Aries, welcome to your Sunday check-in. What's going on, please, for Aries? Show me Aries, please. Yeah, what's going on for Aries, please? What is it? What's up? Ace of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and the Ace of Pentacles. Nice. Alrighty. Two of Cups, excuse me, 10 of Swords, and the Page of Cups. Interesting. Alright. Ace of Cups. Yeah. Sun. Oh. A 5 of Cups. Wow. Yeah, okay. Alright. We'll get to it. You're like, what's going on? Well, you got aces here today, and that's beautiful. You opened up with a strong truth. Queen of Cups. You're like, let's do this. I'm open. Let's do this. I'm excited. And it's some sort of opportunity. We got so many aces here now. I don't know which is which. So we're definitely going to have to clarify. It could be more than one thing, honey. It doesn't necessarily have to be job, work, career. It could also be new love. And those two could also be rolled into each other. I just know you're ready to rock, honey. You said your heart's open and you know it. So your mind is on board with your heart. Beautiful. I'm open. Whatever it is, I'm open, baby. Let's do this. And it starts out as a realistic opportunity, whatever it is, at first. Okay. But what I like, though, is that you mentally acknowledge your truth and you're prepared to act on it. And your heart space is like, yes, samesies. So we got alignment right there. Cool. My heart's open. It's soft. It's ready. It's intuitive. Let's rock. 2 of Cups, 10 of Swords, Page of Cups. It's hard to open back up. I know. And this is where it goes into an emotional space. It says this, it's hard. I've experienced disappointment like everybody. I've experienced endings like everybody. But you're like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to open up to love. We'll take a look at that and see if it's specific or just in the general sense. But like, I want to do it. I want to emotionally bond with somebody, and it means a lot to me, and my heart's ready. And I know it, and I believe it. I believe in it for myself. Okay, cool. Ace of Cups, the Sun, 5 of Cups. So whatever pain it is that I see for you that represents the past, it's miles away from where you are today. You're very prepared to live by the sun, live by your heart, and It's beautiful. You showed me openness despite trepidation a couple of times. So let's see what's up with you. What's going on? I like it. And you're saying it's not the easiest of things. I've had to overcome some obstacles. I've had to overcome disappointment. But I'm learning. I'm learning to let that go. I'm willing to no longer reach back into the past and feel hurt. I want to be open. I want to be kind of fresh in my energy. I want to believe in things from the heart and opportunities from the heart. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go after it. You can't stop me. No, I don't want to. All right. Ace of Swords, Queen of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. Queen of Swords, there's that Five of Cups again, and the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, very distinctly, and with much conscious thought, you have been working through the past. Five of Cups. So that was conscious effort. You're showing me the results, though, play out in your heart. You're saying your heart's ready to be open to love, forgive, and receive. But your mind is credited with a lot of the background work for that readiness. And many of you, don't get me wrong, have been working very hard in your careers, and that's one of the things that's helped you process the disappointments, and that's one of the things that's helped you process the regret. And no doubt you've gotten a great deal of stability and resources as a result of that, because you're showing me this sense of preparedness and realistic opportunities, as well as a certain preparedness of the mind and a preparedness of the heart. So you've been very busy. You're one of those types, aren't you? Classically one of those types that when you kind of throw yourself into your work endeavors, it allows you to simultaneously work on other areas in your life, particularly uncomfortable emotions in the past. It feels safe, right, when you have something to do. I don't always see that. I usually see people, distracting themselves with work so they don't have to deal with your pain. For you, is the exact opposite. I throw myself into my reality. I throw myself into the 3D in order to sort out my own stuff. My own difficult, uncomfortable, yucky, painful stuff. When I work on one, I literally am able to feel comfortable and safe working on the other. And that's a great process. I don't see it, like I said, too often as comfortably as you are making it out to be. So that's either your process or it's not. But that all is going to represent a certain effort of time. It's not an overnight thing, as I often have to explain to people. But as you work through your personal goals and work endeavors and professional goals and endeavors, it allowed you to access some space in your heart. And it's like, okay, I got to process this crap. Five of Cups. So it helps to have a safe, structured environment in which to do that, A lot of people, it's like, oh, you can't do them both at the same time. Oh, yes, you can. Absolutely. Sometimes what we do in terms of work offers us a safe space to access our feelings, to access those uncomfortable places in our mind. That not everybody gets that. Like I said, it's a very particular process. For the Aries I'm looking at, that's your particular process. Look what you got from it. You have strong truths attached to you today and actions. Your heart's a lot more softer these days. All right. And you also, lined yourself up for other opportunities, not just that of the heart in the process. I mean, I told you, there's big parts of you that are lined up. That's where you're coming from. So good job. And also, P.S., good job at work. Because you've done a little bit of both. That's good stuff. But yeah, no, you for the Aries I'm looking at, you absolutely use work as a way to safely access feelings of the past. Okay? And find some resolve in there. All right, Two of Cups, Ten of Swords, and the Page of Cups. I'm not saying you're done. I'm not saying you're complete. We're never really complete. But when you can check in with yourself and say, you know what, I've made progress, and I like the progress I've made. And I don't know, honey, what that Five of Cups is. Everybody's baggage is different. Everybody insists that theirs is the heaviest or theirs isn't, Anyway, it's not really a competition. Five of Cups is Five of Cups. It's pain and disappointment and loss and regret of the past, and a lot of people carry it around. They won't do nothing with it. And you're like, that's not good enough for me. I need to work through it. I need to understand. Okay. All right. Two of Cups, Ten of Swords, Page of Cups. The Emperor, that's you. The Knights of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. There it is again. You show me emotional expansion over working constructs. Some of you just, man, your professional selves, your working selves, goodness me. You really are quite the multitasker. I get it though. I do. I tell you what, they say that you never really know who you are until you're in a full-on partnership. I don't disagree with that. But sometimes you don't really know who you are until you see literally the work you've produced and put into the world. It teaches you a lot about you and not just how you, say, earn money. But anyway, that's the areas I'm looking at. Wow. Two of Cups, Ten of Swords, Page of Cups. You're going to open up to what looks like an energy you're familiar with in some way. We'll call it friendship for now. Don't be aghast by that. That's how some of these things start. I can't help but think we know this person through proximity in our environment. And don't get me wrong, this could be the person that you kind of see here and there at the coffee shop. It's not like, it doesn't have to be at work, but it does present itself as, I kind of am familiar with him. We might have some things in common. You know, we both listen to the same music at work, or they're always there at that space at that time, or I always see them in yoga class, and, you know, they seem cool. They got your attention a little bit. The Emperor, the Knight of Wands, Three of Pentacles. You tend to pick yourself up a little more when you're around them, or they around you. But to be clear, I see this approaching you. I do. I see it approaching you. And you are familiar with it, though. And so, again, we'll just call it friends for now because I don't know what else to call it. You do see it, however, correctly as a choice to open up from the heart, even if it's just a little bit. And you're like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Here's the real proof of our work here. About our heart space being authentically open. Here we go. I'm not telling you have to open. You get free will in all things. You get to choose for yourself. Tarot is simply a reflection of some choices, not all. Tarot is the proof of choice, not the absence of it. Okay? So if you're not ready, you're not ready. But for the Aries I'm looking at, you want to try. You're like, it's time to try out that Queen of Cups I've been working so hard on. This is what it's all about. So not only have you been doing very well at work for reasons that we have discussed, good job, you look very secure, and P.S., I have to insist, some of you are lining up to new opportunities in work because of everything that you've done. So again, congratulations just on that alone. Beautiful. And now over here we get to exercise our heart space a little bit. And we're scared. You're scared a little bit. Yeah, you're scared. Like I said, the trepidation's real. It's one thing when we say, okay, I feel like I'm ready, and then, okay, we're going to try it out now. It's kind of like that. You know? But just try it out. It looks friendly in its approach, a little excited. But you got it. You got it. You got it. Just think of it as getting to know them at first. And, you know, for the Aries I'm looking at, that's more or less the idea. All right? And that's the way it should be. All right. Ace of Cups, the Sun, the Five of Cups. I don't know what I was expecting for you today, but you're touching a little bit on everything that's important in your world, and I like that. You know, that's one of the benefits of an energetic check-in. You just, well, it's a little bit more about me and what's going on with me, and it's not just limited to work, and it's not just limited to love. It's also about spiritual growth and what's on my mind, and that's what you're showing me, and I love that stuff. I do. I just find it. I just find it more in terms of experiencing the collective more fully when we don't just stick to one topic, but rather how we see how one topic can sometimes relate to the other. And that's lovely. Ace of Cups, the Sun, Five of Cups. Like I said, we're really overcoming those past disappointments and really getting in tune with that readiness. Okay? Ten of Pentacles, Judgment, Six of Cups. Whatever this is very stable in nature. It's either a soul bond that you are getting reacquainted with, but no pressure. And it starts out in a friendship structure, a known entity type situation. It's excited. I think I even distinctly said it approaches you. You're like, whew. So this is either a soul bond we're getting reacquainted with, or their soul bond that has yet to be established because they're new. Once the Six of Cups shows up over Ace, it's all bets are off. Okay? It could be brand new, and that bond is just starting to develop, and we see what it is later. Okay? Or someone we used to know with Judgment here. It's your call, babe. Either way, it's your call. It is literally your call. But I just know the topic of intimacy for the Aries I'm looking at was inevitable. It was going to come back into your life in some way. Okay? So be it new or renewed, but better apparently than when you last recognize it, because it's very stable, the Ten of Pentacles. You're also offering stability in your own way. It's your choice. Timing, lessons, does it feel right to you at the end of the day? So I'm not over here saying a bunch of stuff I don't mean. Okay? I have to be a lot more careful. Even though swearing for me is quite natural, and I just think it's an extension of my natural expression. You know, YouTube has found a way to be very punishing. Honestly, it's like, you can swear at your own cost. I don't want to get into that, but you can literally be punished. You're not full-on demonetized, but you can be very punished, yes. Yeah, they're so clever. They're so clever. Anyway, you don't want to hear all that bullshit stuff. You know, you don't want to hear all that. You don't want to hear all that, babe. You don't. I'm just telling you that my censoring probably sounds awkward, because it is. Yeah. Anyway, it's still your choice. All I can tell you is that it looks very warm and pleasant, happy. And it shows up as stable. Very stable. Or it develops into stability if it's brand new. But you said you wanted to start stretching out that heart space of yours. I think many of you, I'm going to take a shot at this. You really thought being open meant being open to new opportunities in job and career. I don't think you were exactly expecting to be, I'm not going to say tested, but tested on emotional readiness. Are you really ready to open up? You're like, yeah, to new opportunities in career. And they're like, no, we mean the other thing. Okay. But it's your choice. Either way, I see stability here. Look at that. And it does help overcome the pains of the past. Five of Cups. You know. However it is you used to experience love, warmth, and happiness is no more. And here we have authentic feeling and authentic happiness, no longer associated with the past. This is different. Okay? It's very stable. It's very loving. All right. Anywho, let's get some oracles. Yeah. I went on and on, but some readings you just want to go on and on. You know, is that so bad? Is that such a crime, Aries, honey? All right. It is end of a cycle and ghosted. That's pains of the past. End of a cycle. You ghosted someone, ghosted some. Anyway, that's end of a cycle. That's over. Where you had to go quiet or somebody went quiet on you. That's over. Okay? Decisions. Indeed. Left, right, up, down, A, B, door 1, door 2. Life is a series of choices, some of you. decisions to make as the masculine, or you have a decision to make about a masculine. Okay? Okay. Come on now. Okay, full moon in Capricorn. Take a reality check. Last quarter moon in Scorpio. Reveal what needs to be seen. Last quarter moon in Capricorn. Leave the past behind. Okay? There you go. And if you are getting reacquainted with somebody, there will be an agreement here to leave the past behind, because who you two are today are different. And even then, this may not be the person who cost you 5 of Cups. That can come from anywhere, anybody. Or help generated by. But yeah, so I don't know. And if it's new, it's a decision to completely leave that past behind as well. Either way, it's all good. Q, N. We had the seashell in the upright, Cancer energy. You might have some very strong Cancer in your chart. Could be connecting to. Their season might be important to you. And the unicorn in the upright. Yes, of course you are. Magical, unique. Okay. Aries, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Aquarius, welcome to your Sunday check-in. What's going on, please, for Aquarius? Show me Aquarius. Alrighty. Now, 7 of Wands, the 3 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Wands. That's laborious. 3 of Wands, King of Swords, and the 5 of Cups. 10 of Cups, Strength, and Temperance. Okay. You opened up with a kind of hard segment here. 7 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands. There's a lot of heaviness here, responsibility, a sense of this is how it must be, though. 7 of Wands. You're showing me this is the agreement I have to put work into this, and it's not the easiest of things. In fact, it's quite draining on me. But you're like, I insist, I maintain this structure. 3 of Pentacles, okay? Some sort of cooperation, project, effort, I don't know, possibly work. But the 3 of Pentacles suggests some sort of cooperation on your part that you've agreed to. And it's kind of like I agreed to this on my terms, and this is how I enforce it. But you find it quite draining to give your time, energy, and effort to this. It's a heavy sort of responsibility, even if you manage to keep it minimal, all right? It's like, this is my portion. And that's already asking a lot. So you are maintaining that structure by choice, but you also put a lot of restrictions on your contribution too. Okay, because you're saying just even that portion is exhausting. Okay. 3 of Wands, King of Swords, 5 of Cups. It's kind of like I've agreed to do this, to give this thing space and time to see if it's going to shape up. Because right now it's offering a lot of disappointment. So you're showing me I'm investing, but in a very minimal way. Because you do find it draining. You made that clear. Here are the boundaries surrounding my contribution. And then over here, you're saying this was a personal choice, which, good. Whenever the 3 of Wands is involved, I can either see it kind of in the space of anticipation, positive hope, or waiting. And you're saying it's waiting. But it's choice. I choose to do this. Okay. 3 of Wands, King of Swords, 5 of Cups. You acknowledge it. Good. I'm glad that that you've actively acknowledged the choice to wait and give this thing some more time to shape up. But once more, you've clearly defined your role. Whatever this is, you know what it is. You've been participating in this structure for a long time. Even though you minimized your effort towards it, you're saying you are familiar enough with whatever this is that you are disappointed by it, but you're still trying. And it's like, I'm giving this thing some time. This is what I can do. I hope it appreciates that. Because you're like, I'm looking actively for improvement from this. Okay. It's almost like you're saying, my giving to this at all is almost a favor to the situation, because personally, I'm exhausted by it. Okay. Ten of Cups, Strength, Temperance. You know, there's some beautiful work in there about temperance and healing and patience and showing strength for your Ten of Cups value, your inner circle, emotional harmony. You're saying otherwise, if it hadn't been for those factors, you may not have participated for this at all or given it space and time to shape up better. You're saying you're trying to practice the principles of healing and passion and compassion and strength of will towards something that you say in the greater scheme of your life is important to you, and that's what you're trying to keep in mind and keep in spirit and keep in focus. And for those reasons, it's taking a certain strength of will, okay, to exercise a willingness to harmonize with whatever this is. You're saying if it hadn't been part of my inner circle, I wouldn't have bothered. Okay? If it weren't for the fact that I believed in patience and healing and these other things, again, I wouldn't have done this, or I wouldn't have offered this at all. Okay? Okay. Seven of Wands, Three of Pentacles, and the Ten of Wands. You seem to be showing me patience and a sense of, you know, I'm putting some time, energy, and effort into this. I hope you understand what that means to me. You know? I hope you appreciate what I'm giving to this, even if it's not a lot, because honestly, I didn't have to. Like, I made that choice. I made that choice for this situation to show some improvement. But it'll be done so on my terms, perhaps, or else. Okay. Seven of Wands, Three of Pentacles, Ten of Wands. There's that Seven of Wands again. Adamant. Boundaries. Be careful. Be careful. Ace of Wands, Death. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing how this could swing either way. If it doesn't shape up, it's out. That's it. So whatever this is, you're showing me this as last chance. I hope you understand that. I made a decision. You made it very clear that you are minimizing your assistance to this. Time, energy, and effort spent specifically, because you're saying it's a right pain and you know what? You know where. And you are managing expectations regarding communication and efforts. But it is really last call to shape up or else. Okay. Okay. It's really is on the edge of a knife here for the Aquarius I'm looking at. Like, you mean it. You really mean it. So you weren't joking for the Aquarius I'm looking at. Again, you should already know by now if this resonates with you, because this is active. This is happening now and over the next week or two, where you're kind of giving this what I would call waiting with definition. This has so much space and time to shape up. If I'm being honest with you, I'm looking at this and I'm looking at you, I'm looking at your energy. It's kind of like you're waiting for them to screw up, honestly. But you want to be able to say you did your part. So I don't know what this represents to you, other than it seems to be part of your greater dynamic. So we would call that family, we would call that friends, inner circle, could be partner, I don't know. You get to assign that, because this either fits your situation or it doesn't. That's it. It's like, say the wrong word, I dare you. Do the wrong thing, I dare you. And then you're going to see where my generosity stops. So it's pretty firm. It's pretty firm for the Aquarius I'm looking at. But you know what? I something tells me you wouldn't be talking like this or acting like this unless whatever this is, you really feel that was your only feasible response to it. Okay. 3 of Wands, King of Swords, that's you. 5 of Cups. Whatever this is has a limited time. And that's when I see waiting once more, if you choose it, such as you have done, it is best to put boundaries on waiting. Whatever that means to you. Usually comes down to time. Weeks, months, seasons. Okay, but just know that you're choosing it. 3 of Wands, King of Swords, 5 of Cups. Queen of Swords, 2 of Wands, and Justice. There it is. This is that opportunity, boo-boo. I called it, man. King, Queen of Swords. You might have some very strong, like, extra air in your chart. Okay, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You could be double, triple, quad air. The point is that your mind is 100% bent on this decision. And there's the waiting period again. There's that line of conversation. Again, there's the expectations in place for what you expect from this and whomever else is in there that you are contemplating giving that burdensome 3 of Pentacles to, working with. It's the last shot, last opportunity. But you're emphasizing it's fair. As much grievance as this has caused me, as much stress as this has caused me, you cannot say this isn't fair. But it is a limited time experience, limited time offer. I told you, like, really close. Okay. But yeah, you're saying it's fair. It's fair. You're saying you've got a lot of sadness around this particular subject, but it's like this is its last chance to harmonize with me or this situation or amongst my 10 of Cups, whatever, to find its place or to do its part. Otherwise, it's out. Okay. So you're showing me, in your mind, you understand that this is above and beyond fair. Okay. Yeah, perhaps it is, though. Like I said, I don't think you would have put down energy like that unless you really had meant it. All right. 10 of Cups, Strength, Temperance. Oh my, this one's very interesting. But from that point of view, the energetic reading, you know? I'm not calling it an ultimatum, and I'll tell you why. Ultimatums usually mean we've reached the end of whatever this is. It's like one last courtesy check before somebody calls it or calls me out on my ultimatum. This is, I expect these boundaries to be met within a very reasonable time frame. Okay, to correct the situation. But you're also prepared to cut these loose ends if need be. Ace of Swords, the 5, there it is again, that nasty little 5 of Cups here. Oh, and the Moon, yeah. You don't, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a bummer. For the Aquarius I'm looking at, it's either yours or it's not. It's incredibly distinct. It's so distinct. In fact, a lot of people might get frustrated with it, and I don't blame you, because it's going to be one of those that's so specific, it's going to turn some people off. Like, what? I get that. You know, a lot of people like it the more generalized. We can all relate to it a little bit, but this one's going to be the case of either yours or not yours. That's it. That's all there is to it, and that's okay. This is for whomever needed to see it. So let me know if this one's yours. You're like, I totally get it. I know exactly what's going on. That is, or it's like, no, I went ahead and checked my other placements. You tell me that too. It's cool. That's all right. It's all good. It's all confirmation. 10 of Cups, Strength, Temperance. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it had been anything other than that inner circle dynamic, I don't think you would have bothered. You don't, you like in your moon energies, that 5 of Cups. There it is again. On your surface, you're like, this is a fair shot. And it's also this opportunities, this situation's a person's chance to exercise justice as well. I suggest they take it because I see what you're prepared to do. You made that very clear. But under here in your moon, in your heart of hearts, in your secret place, you honestly think the Five of Cups will reign with this situation. Just outstanding disappointment that this will never change. It will always remain stuck or blind. That's what you privately believe. Very privately. Okay. So here you're showing me a sense of duty and honor to something that you believe in. Harmonizing with the Ten of Cups. Showing patience to the Ten of Cups. Okay. And again, that really frustrates people. What does that even mean, Ten of Cups? Yeah, it's exactly whoever's in your inner circle, family, friends, spouses, kids, whoever's in there, you get to assign it. The thing is, it either harmonizes in your life in the greater principle or the greater scheme of things, or it doesn't. Intimate energy is more like the Two of Cups or the Six of Cups or the Ace of Cups. And even then, that can have a very strong open assignment. This is in the overall greater scheme of things and who fits into your life and why, who you love, support, and why, and they, you. You're saying somebody here sticks out like a sore thumb and they've had ample opportunity to correct their behaviors. To not just show to you, but to everyone else in there too, that they can be fair, compromise, work things out, or do their part. And but in your moon space, in your heart of hearts, like I said, in your secret place, you honestly don't believe that they'll change, that disappointment will be outstanding. And that's okay. That's private. You keep that to yourself, just so long as you know that that's how you really feel. And if you need to address that, look at that, or heal through it, or work through it, you can do that. I tell people all the time, we all have moons. Some of them are conscious secrets, like I know I'm keeping that to myself. That's a private thought. That's a private feeling. I will share it with no one. And then there's the unknown moon, the stuff we are extremely uncomfortable with, so we just kind of shove it down there. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to think about it. At some point, our moon becomes surface knowledge, or ideally it does. But if you know that that's what's in your heart secretly, I want you to kind of dip in there from time to time, check into that, regulate against it, work through it, heal it. Why? Why do you already feel like you know how this is going to end up? I mean, I kind of know. And you do too. You already showed me how you're prepared to cut communication or work towards this. But why, in your heart of hearts, do you think this situation will not change? You don't need to tell me. You tell that to yourself. On the surface, you're saying this was your motivation for trying. You believe in letting people have their fair shot. If they mean something to you, that's kind of a critical point. I hope that they take it, honey. I really do. I hope that they do what they need to do to balance the situation. You made your terms very clear, more than once. And according to you, you're saying, this is as fair as it's going to get. This is what I can do. Don't expect anything more. So you are living up to your values. Yes. You are trying to exercise what you believe in, and that is letting people have their second chance or work stuff out. But privately, you believe they're not going to live up to it. Do you want them to? Yeah. Do you expect them to? No. So I want you to have that. That doesn't mean anything's wrong with your sense of self or expectations. That's a very secret disappointment, which means in some way you understand that you're right, but you don't want to be. You understand? But you, yeah, honestly, you can say you gave him a shot, a chance. Okay? I would tell you to manage your expectations, but it looks like you've done that many times over. Okay? All right. For some of you, this represents specifically an influence that started last summer, and now we're kind of at the end of our rope with this one, this situation or person. For some of you, This is not your bi-weekly check-in. This is something that might happen over this coming summer. Okay. But for many of you, you started to see this situation erode since last summer. And now we're wrapping it up in these final weeks. Okay? All right. Yeah, I know. I see it there. There's the nostalgia. I know you've known this person a long time. And they're part of the greater scheme of things. I'm thinking, guys, this is leaning towards... yeah, lots of hair. It gets caught in things. I'm leaning towards more a family member. They could be younger than you. But someone you're like, I wish they had made different choices. Or I wish they had lived up to the role as a happy, healthy, supportive sibling or cousin or mom or something like that. You understand? Make sense? What's going on? Trust all will be well. New moon in Virgo. Okay? It will be. You know what you're doing. And even if the end result is painful or it's that thing in the background noise you had been fearing this whole time, it will be well in the end. Okay? You still have what looks like an outstanding support system around you. Yeah, like I said, some of you have some very strong air in your chart, including Gemini. Keyword here being intelligent, or you're trying to approach this from a very intelligent or logical point of view, okay? Not trying to be ruled by your emotions, but you can't pretend that you haven't been affected by this. And also you could be connecting to Gemini, Gemini season, which is right around the corner. Might be important for some of you, that kind of thing. All right, we have the letters Q, O, E, and we have the dove, sign of peace. I know, trust all will be well. This will end in serenity or peace, I promise, okay? And also releasing from this. And then we have the lotus flower, which is beautiful in nature, but at first presents itself as a very confusing thing. You know, beautiful symmetry. Things have a way of unfolding over time. They make sense later, you know? And then we have the butterfly upright, and the sign of transformation is active now. Yes, I see that. Depending on what happens here is going to change the future context for communication, action, a combination of those things. Depending on what happens now. Yeah. There's a big difference between death and transformation. And I saw how this situation was on the edge of the knife, and it was both. Okay? All right. Aquarius, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Gemini, welcome to your Sunday check-in. What's going on for Gemini? Yeah, what's up? Alrighty, Roo. No? Okay. Seven of Swords, Strength, Ace of Cups. Oh, okay. We'll get to that. King of Wands, Three of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, you're fine. Why were you showing me that? All right, we'll get back to that too. Three of Swords. Oh, Six of Swords, Five of Pentacles. Good. No, that's good. That's good. That's good. Seven of Swords, Strength, Ace of Cups. You're showing me what I like to call nervous pudding. And by that means Jell-O, it shakes. It's still a solid structure. It's still technically a solid food, but it's a little shaky. And yeah, that would be nervous pudding. You know, there is something here for you trying to take shape, and technically is in shape. It is a solid form, but it's jiggly. Like, ooh, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I really want to exist, kind of like how Jell-O is transparent. It's like, I don't know if I should exist in this energy or in this feeling. But the thing is, you do. You do, actually. Seven of Swords, Strength, Ace of Cups. It's not that you don't feel it. It's almost like I feel it too much and I got to get the hell away from it. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what it is that you are reacting to, but I kind of get an idea over here. King of Wands, Three of Cups, Ten of Pentacles. Whatever this is, you can bring it together. That's the opposite of nervous pudding. That's, what's up? You want to go out sometime? It's good. It's good. I like it though. That's just my intensity as a Scorpio. I always over amplify the intensity, but it's actually quite warm. It's very inviting. That King of Wands, Three of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles is actually quite solid. It's quite solid to bring something together. It's incredibly stable, and I can see that you appreciate stability, structure, boundaries, normatives, and then growth. You also appreciate connectivity too. Just in the general sense is that you like being resourced and networked, but there's someone here whom, you know, you'd like to know or get reacquainted with a little bit more on the personal side. Just a little bit. King of Wands, Three of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles. Let's make it happen, Captain. I mean, let's do it. Three of Swords, Six of Swords, Five of Pentacles. Yeah, I think that's what we're talking about here, folks, is this that initial opening of... that can't be right. That kind of hesitation there is really just a kind of form of leaving behind disappointment and fear of rejection and abandonment, which is easier said than done. Those are a lot of concepts. I'm not going to say they're not. They are. Three of Swords, that's already quite ow. And many of you have already been learning to leave that behind, that the shadows of the heart that suggest fear of rejection or actual rejection that you've experienced in the past. It's like we've been learning to leave that behind. But you know what kind of remains is the Five of Pentacles. The sense that if I grow anything and it doesn't work out, I have to experience that. That sucks. So, you know, I think that's where that initial opening. But here's the thing, though. The Ace of Cups is more solid than it is transparent. You know, it's like, I don't know if I can dare step into those feelings, but then I actually see you trying them out in a very reasonable way. You're excited. You're turned on. You're like, oh, okay. I'm actually more ready for this than I understood. Why don't I trust me more? I'm awesome. I'm stable. I'm solid. I'm a stand-up Gemini. What? Why did I even question that? Well, I'll tell you what, you have enough owies, you're going to remember those owies. They're going to influence your decision, background fears, and that's why we are obligated to heal our stuff. Look at it, learn from it. That way, it doesn't impose on itself in a negative way in your present and therefore potentially alter your future in a negative way. We don't want that. You know, it's... and again, you had already made great strides with the Three of Swords. It's just that Five of Pentacles, which is quite powerful in and of its own right. Again, it's abandonment. So while many of you had learned to come to deal with this idea of Three of Swords and pain and rejection, the Five of Pentacles for some of you still runs deep. And it can be deep enough that it can completely override what we're experiencing and just like, nope, not going to do it. And for others are like, no, I need to trust myself. Okay? I'm a stable, strong, steady Gemini. I can connect with this. I want to. Seven of Swords, Strength, Ace of Cups. Four of Cups, the Five of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, many of you told yourself again and again you weren't ready. Okay, that was a form of self-sabotage. Yeah, I mean, outstanding unresolved issues and disappointment, being disappointed in love, be it with someone specific or just overall. I've been disappointed in love time and again. Love sucks. What did he sing? Adam Sandler's character sang in Wedding Singer, Love Stinks. No, that's the actual song. He just redid it. But you know what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like love stinks. It always stinks. And it's like also P.S. I'm not ready anyway. Queen of Pentacles. It was a false concept that some of you rocked for a long time. It kind of allowed you to keep your heart nice and safe and dry. And by that I mean you put it on the shelf and you let it stay there for a long time. you know. 4 of Cups, 5 of Swords is something we got to work through. And you have done. You have done. People will often delay what they feel by denying that they're feeling anything at all. No. No, love stinks. Remember? It stinks. I don't want none of that. Ugh. Who wants that? I don't. All it does is disappoint anyway. It's kind of like that. Yeah, but that was the 5 of Swords talking, honey. But I know you've made progress, because even though 7 Swords ain't that great, it's still a lot better than the 5. My question is, how are you going to use strength? To continue to push it away, deny it, or pull it towards you? Because either are at your disposal in this position. I can see where you've been doing this. You keep that nasty thing called love the hell away from me. No, thank y'all. But that was, again, it was from that space of self-sabotage. We were lying to ourselves about our availability or our readiness or our willingness to feel feelings. Point is that we don't stay there forever. Okay? At some point, we're all going to hit, rationally speaking, we're all going to hit those pockets in life called cynicism. We don't want to stay there. We really don't want to stay there. We don't want to get lost to the 4 of Cups or the 5 of Cups. That's no good. Okay? And I've met some folks, and I'm sure you have too, who stay there, always. And when I meet those folks, or when I have met them, I'm just like, I'm sorry if it hurts you. But I'm not trying to connect to you either. You got work to do. They got healing to do, You can kind of sense it. King of Wands, 3 of Cups, and the 10 of Pentacles. King of Wands, 3 of Cups, and the 10 of Pentacles. There's that 5, the 10 of Wands, and the 7 of Wands. Okay, so I see you pushing back against that 5 of Pentacles. I will not let that overtake me. I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to stay present. I got this. I want to connect to this. I reject that 5 of Pentacles. I will stop fearing a structure that hasn't even developed yet. I need to trust me. I need to trust my own experience. I need to trust my own sense of stability. I got this. I can connect to this. I want to connect to this, and I'm going to allow myself to connect to this because I still see you doing it. I still see you doing it in the so-called real world, and then also simultaneously pushing back on this idea of potential breakage affecting you at some point. No, we don't need that. I agree. 3 of Swords. 6 of Swords. 5 of Pentacles. Now, whether or not you will maintain the course, I hope that you do, but because you understand that it's right for you. Okay? And there's that 10 again. Wow. Queen of Swords. The Chariot. You are so ready. You are so ready to move on from this. Good job. I'm glad that you're not putting up with that 5 of Pentacles. I'm glad you're not. I'm glad you're not giving into the fear of abandonment. I'm glad you're not giving into pains of the past that you've been working so hard to leave behind. It's like you're just now recognizing that in you. I don't want to stay back there anymore. I don't want to keep denying my heart's desire. I don't want to keep doing that. I've done it. And it worked for me then, but it doesn't work for me now. It sucks. I want to be over there. I want to connect to that, whoever that is. You didn't actually show me a clear definition of who they are, but you, by choice, will be connecting them soon enough because it feels good, because it feels right, and you're allowing yourself to draw into that energy. I want this. I want to be here. 5 of Pentacles, get away from me. I'm not going to fear abandonment. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to set myself up for failure, and I don't want to participate in failure. I am too big for that. I am too good for that. Yes, you are. I love that. You are giving that side of you absolute heck. Like, you are pushing back so hard. I'm so proud of you, honey. You must really want to connect with this. And I'm not saying you have to. I'm saying the Gemini I'm looking at is choosing to. I don't tell you what to do. You tell me what's going on with you. There's the proof of choice, not the absence of it. For some of you, you're going to dip your toe in that cup and you'll be like, no, no, no. And for others of you, like, I want this. And I see you fighting for it. Not for them, not for their time, energy. That's not this. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you fighting against that space in you that says, be afraid. Be afraid of hurt. Be afraid of abandonment. Be afraid. And you're like, I won't do it. And then you use strength to push that away from you. So you can pull this thing towards you that you can connect to on a more intimate level. You have a lot going on for you, by the way. You showed me the Ten of Pentacles twice in a positive concept. You are afraid of instability. So whenever we lost something emotionally, you associate that heavily with instability. Like, I don't have much together. Okay? I can't maintain everything to the highest standards that I'm used to. Emotional energies, intimate energies are different, right? Because it literally takes two. You know what you can do on your own. You've proven it many times. But when it comes to your emotional selves, like I have some reasons to distrust that. You do. I'm not saying you don't. You do. But you've been working through it. And you're not fully realizing it until you see yourself fighting for this, to connect to this. Because you want to. I don't know if they're great. I don't know if they're awesome. I don't know if they're a sexy, hot rock star. I have no idea. Only you would know. This is more like between Gemini and Gemini. Okay? We got our Luke Skywalker and our Darth Vader both in here, and they both are equally powerful, right? And I got Luke over here. He's not going to give in to the dark side. Right? If you're a Star Wars fan. If you're not, I don't know what to tell you. You got some catching up to do? At least the first 3 original films, since then being retitled as 4, 5, and 6. We have strong thoughts about that. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm a bit of a Star Wars purist. I actually saw the unedited original film, so yeah, I got some thoughts on that. Anyway, many times over too, actually. It was so cool, man. Whatever. Sorry. I'm getting lost to that. I know you understand. 3, so you've been doing a good job of leaving behind sense of rejection. Okay, we all get rejected. We all are going to be afraid of rejection inherently a little bit. We're human. What are you going to do? 5 of Pentacles, though, is going to take more training. Okay, because I can see where you're so used to stabilization in and of your own right. You got this. Okay, look at you. And you even confirm, again, I got this. I got this. I am moving on with my life. I am moving forward in my life. It feels good. I'm going to allow myself to feel good. I'm going to allow myself to acknowledge this. I deserve this. I deserve to connect to this. Not everything I step into is going to break. I need to trust that. Yes, you need to trust you. Absolutely. And whomever you connect to, I don't know who they are, man. I don't know. I don't care. You didn't show me that. It's easy. Something you're doing is either reciprocated or it ain't. There is not much else to put in that in terms of thought. Especially if you're just in this... cheers. Cheers to you. You're just in that phase. As long as it's returned to you, it's okay. You got something to work with. So the fact that you're pushing back so hard on yourself suggests you're reacting to something. And you want it to react to you too. Cool. Okay, what's up? Oh, everybody's going to get 19, 20, 18-minute forming. I know you are. Look at you. You are so solid. Believe in that. Believe in yourself. Okay? Those personal experiences in life that are unstable in nature, they're exactly that. It hits very differently. It's not the same level of recovery. It's a different kind of trust rebuild process with yourself and then learning to with someone else. And it's not always guaranteed, as you know. Awesome. Hidden emotions. Oh, tricky. Those hidden emotions. Some of you have been like, since last fall. So that beautiful heart space of yours has been trying to quiver a little bit. I said quiver, yes. Since last fall. And you're like, no, you're not. You just shut up. That's what you do. That's what I'm not trying to. That's the impression of since last fall for some of you. And now your cup wants to stand a little more upright and noticeable. See me well because I'm into this. I want to see myself well because I'm into this. Honey, I don't know who they are, but they must be a heck of a thing to have gotten your attention and fight for yourself like this. I love it. It's so inspiring, honey. So in epiphany. Yeah, I see it. You're heading that direction. Yeah, we're having some strong insights, and that's wonderful. Okay. You're winning, honey. You are winning. Okay. And that's just the next couple of weeks. Yes, please. Exactly. Thank you. Last quarter moon in both Taurus cards, actually. So we are in Taurus season. This is happening now. It's concentrated for now. So some very strong Taurus in your chart, by the way. Last quarter moon in Taurus. Yes, please. Be proud of yourself. Absolutely. You have so much behind you. Put trust and faith in that. If someone wants to shape up with you, they will. If they want to connect something for them, they will. All right? You did a great job with that 3 of Swords. We still got to work on that 5 of Pentacles, but you're doing it. Full moon in Taurus, detoxify. Yeah. Yes. But the concentration is now, my friend. I love it. Yeah. All right. T, K, D, E. We have the palm hand, sign of spirituality. You know, some of you take your spiritual practices very deeply, or you're just learning about them more, meditating more these days. I understand. We have the wolf in reverse and upside down. I don't know if I should pursue this. I don't know. I'm not trying to be malicious, but I don't have it in me. I don't have the instincts. I don't want to. Actually, yes, you do. The force is with you, my friend. Okay. No, I don't know why I did that. Okay. Oh. May the 4th? For some of you? Is that why I said that? May 4 or May 5? Anyway, I don't know. We have 3 medallions, Aquarius, Pisces, Capricorn. You might have any of these very strong placements in your chart can be connecting to other seasons, might be important to you. Okay, for reals, done. All right, Gemini, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Libra, welcome to your Sunday check-in. What's going on, please, for Libra? What's going on? The Hanged Man. Oh, okay. Judgment, 8 of Pentacles. You're like, stop real quick so I can take this phone call about work. Oh, but kind of like in a large scale way. All right. The Chariot, 2 of Pentacles and the 5 of Cups. I got you. I understand. Ace of Wands, 10 of Wands, the 10 of Pentacles. I got you. You got mixed feelings on this. And I can see why you kind of took this to bat, took it to plate. It requires serious contemplation. To be clear, I am looking at foundation stability endeavors such as work or something associated with career, particularly longevity principles about what's best for you long term. Okay. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. It was really straightforward, very to the point. Yours might actually be short today, but we'll see. It's typically when somebody's like, this is what's going on. Boom. I was like, okay, here we go. The Hanged Man, Judgment, 8 of Pentacles. You're like, I need some time out to reflect this serious decision regarding my work, 8 of Pentacles. And it is serious. And to your credit, you're giving this the full weight of your kind of spiritual attention, mental attention about what's best for you. Coin, long-term, everything. You already have something in your upfront that occupies the vast majority of your time. Okay? In other words, you already got a gig. You know what it is. You've done it many times. You're practiced at it. You know what to expect from it. And you're looking at it, and you're looking at it, and you're like, is this where I still want to be X many years from now? Could I be doing something more interesting, better, more profitable, more stable? Is this the location I want to be at? All that's under contemplation. Everything. Everything you could possibly look at in terms of your job, career, and all the decisions that surround that. You're like, I'm looking at it. Because there's a calling in you, honey. Calling, judgment, time to make a decision. Some of you recognize where you're at is okay. But could it be better? Did you receive an actual call in terms of other opportunities and relocation? But you're turning it over so methodically now. So good. The Chariot, 2 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups. You're like, right, this sucks. In a way. You're showing me a sense of sadness. But you want to move forward on a decision. Because it represents to you loss in some way. If you stay, there's kind of a loss, and about what else it is you could be doing and other opportunities elsewhere. And if you move forward, you got to leave behind what you're so practiced at, and where you already are, and where you're already clearly established. So it's kind of like, I need to move forward on a decision. I can't keep floating these 2 of Pentacles. For some of you, FYI, I feel obligated to say this. Some of you have been working a couple of jobs, and it's your opportunity to consolidate it into one concept. Okay? I don't know that that's the vast majority of the interpretation, but it kind of came in as a sideline. So FYI, for some of you, that's you. And now that you have an opportunity, regardless, to consolidate your energies into a functioning concept in one direction, but you're weighing against the pros and cons about staying where you're at versus other opportunities. Ace of Wands, 10 of Wands, the 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, you made a choice here. But you're saying, whatever it is I take on, I got to own the responsibility. And I want to feel good about that. Some of you will choose to expand outside of your current roles. Okay? Move, relocate, I don't know. But for some of you, yeah. And it does require a certain acceptance of heavy responsibilities attached to that, but you're like, that's, at the end of the day, attracting me more than anything else. That I can prosper more over there. You're saying it won't be easy, but you're kind of excited. Okay, so again, I'm not telling you what you're going to do. For the Libra I'm looking at, you're like, I see what you're leaning into. But at the end of the day, you have choice, not me, you know? I'm just reflecting back one choice. But yeah, all right, let's take a look at you. The Hanged Man, Judgment, 8 of Pentacles. What did I see? Yeah, take time to think about that. Okay. Temperance there, long term. Okay. Hanged Man, Judgment, 8 of Pentacles. And there's 10 of Wands, 3 of Cups, 5 of Wands. To be clear, to be absolutely clear, what you do now is already quite tiresome. Yeah, there's another kind of 10 of Wands here, but you're saying it can get very hard sometimes keeping it together. Not everybody's cooperative. Okay? There's something about the work environment, while you are well established, you have hit your comfort zone in this particular role, function, job, field. You're saying it's gotten very uncomfortable these days. People are fighting all the time. It's kind of a toxic atmosphere. Otherwise, you're quite good at what you do, quite comfortable with what you do. But you're recognizing the signs of infighting. People are not getting along. It's not the way it used to be. It's not comfortable the way it used to be. The job isn't as fulfilling as it used to be. In fact, the people that surround me make it 10 times harder. And that's something you've identified as an ongoing characteristic as of late, because you're telling me it wasn't always like this. And that's something else you need to think about. With Judgment, is it time to look at this role, Libra? And do you want to still continue to fulfill it? Think about it carefully. Because it's kind of like, even though these behaviors that are largely negative are recent, they've had enough time to unfold before you to understand that this is the direction this role seems to be headed in. Very difficult to bring people together in a way that's cooperative or functioning, which, it kind of stands to reason that's what work is for. Okay, it's for us to exercise our skills and also gain some monetary benefit, to be productive and practiced and skilled. And right now, it seems like you're surrounded by folks who are not exercising good skills in character or practice. Why is it such an upward battle at work these days? Oh my God. I mean, you would know best. You're looking at it. You're looking at it. And it's like, man, this is true. I can't deny it. This is how it's been. And most likely how it's going to continue to be for a while. So no wonder you're getting the judgment call, yeah? Chariot, 2 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups. But still, loss is loss. That sense of having to move forward. It's like, it sucks that I have to make this decision at all. But I do. Okay? Do I want to stay? Do I want to go? You have to understand there are consequences in assuming to stay, and there's consequences in assuming to go. Chariot. So again, I want you to go back to that core point you made to me. It's about longevity. Where do I see myself in X many years? How do I see myself stabilized in X many years? And can I continue to get that from this role? Okay. Chariot, 2 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Cups. Yeah. Page of Pentacles, King of Wands, 9 of Wands. Okay. Okay, you're frustrated. I'm not saying you're not. There's even some resentment in there. But yes, you have consolidated. You're in the process of consolidating your energies into one concept that you can invest in and stick to that one direction. So this is normal for me. When I see someone floating a 2 of Pentacles and then they drop a page, it's like they picked one. You know? It looks so insubstantial, the 2 of Pentacles, and then you can see how long that gets stretched out, going back and forth. Okay? The idea is pick one. Just one. That doesn't mean it was an easy choice. That doesn't mean it was a fun choice. But you picked one. Okay? You picked one. And there's resentment there. There's frustration there in having to make that choice at all. But the King of Wands, it says, you know what? That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I need to own my decision. I need to feel good about my decision. This is where I'm going. Okay? Ace of Wands, 10 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles. And you're right. No matter what it is you choose, you're going to have to assume the responsibility of it. As I say all the time with the 10 of Wands. And you showed me 10 of Wands on this one too. Okay? In case it's been a while since you've heard me say it. Yeah, 10 of Wands are normal. It's just which one can you own and feel okay about it? Okay? There's no such thing as a perfect job or a perfect career or a perfect relationship. You're going to have to assume some level of hardship to any one thing you do. So what thing that is so hard or difficult that you can live with? Because there's going to be some days you're going to want to scream and tear your hair out and butt heads. So what role can you live with, fulfills you, and helps you exercise your stability goals? You know? Yeah. You do what's right for you. Ace of Wands, 10 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles. Getting back to it. What's going on? Queen of Pentacles. So yeah, I know, sexy. You got it, babe. You got it. You do. I want you to know that you got it. I understand your resentment. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But judgment, this is an inconvenient calling. I got it, but we got to face the music here. And the music ain't pleasant, honey. That volume's way too high on a... Can I say it looks really, really bitchy? It looks... It's It's okay when folks have a bad day, but oh my God, every day with the drama and the backbiting and the backstabbing. Jeez. Anyway, sorry. You made the right decision. Okay, and you own that decision, honey. You own it. Yes, there it is. There you are. There's your comfort zone. You're like, we're cycling that one out. It ain't so comfortable anymore. Okay, on to the new balance. And you're saying, you know what, practically speaking, while this does incorporate some levels of difficult elements, such as possibly relocating, having to put yourself back out there again to explore new opportunities, you're saying, you know what, in a weird way, I am kind of excited. Yes, this was my comfort zone. Yep. That's probably why I tolerated this nonsense as long as I did. But it's not my comfort zone anymore. My comfort zone stopped being comfortable. So at least you recognized it. And now you're acting on it. You're saying that cycle's out. It's time to open the door then. Literally that world is in the perfect position for a door closing and a door opening. For that new opportunity balance, something that's a lot calmer. But not only that, you're saying, yeah, it's got certain weight attached to it, but I'm kind of excited. And honestly, I can see myself prospering here how many years out. And that's good. That's good news. That is good news. Okay? There's a big difference between making a paycheck and feeling like you're thriving and stable and that you have somewhere to grow still. Okay? All right. Yeah, I mean, I understand that. I understand that you resent the new investment. I understand that you feel resentful at all for having to move on from this and not really start over. You're clearly starting over from experience. Yeah, there's going to be some resentment there. Yeah. Yeah. It's like if it weren't for that, I wouldn't have to leave. I liked how I started out with this. I hear you. But I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised, Libra. That one's a 10 of Wands. This one's got a 10 of Wands too. But this one actually allows you to expand. And I think that's why you're excited. Because you can see the proposal of an unfolding future, whereas this one was kind of cut off. You know what I mean? All right. I think you got it. And maybe that's one of the reasons why you left, honey. Maybe you guys, somebody somewhere kept hitting the glass ceiling and couldn't break through. That's what all the competition is for, the anger, the spite. Everybody's undermining everybody's effort in order to climb to the top. And again, that's classic toxic workplace scenario nonsense. That could be it. This one actually gives you comfortable room to growth. For growth. It's got its own problems. Spying, watching, inspecting, I think you keeping an eye on opportunities, or it feels like, again, it's going back to that kind of toxic environment where you feel like you're being watched for all the wrong reasons. You shouldn't be watched at all. You should be trusted to do your job. You know what I mean? How insecure do you have to be if not in management or directorial role that you're just like keeping an eye on somebody? Monitoring their behaviors and actions is like, just let me do my job and you do yours, you know? And even then, any self-respecting director or manager would actually know how to talk to their people, not use tactics. I don't know. A leader leads. They don't spy. I don't know. New partnerships, new friendships here this spring now. Meaningful coincidences that are not meaningful at all. And like we said, abundance is near. Okay. But yeah, new friendship in here. Again, contracts, working environment this spring. Meaningful coincidences. Not meaningful. And an abundance. There it is. So you made a good choice in the end, honey. I want you to trust that. Okay? Trust that. Trust your choices. But just to let you know, that resentment, that's normal. I don't blame you. But also, let that resentment be a reminder to you that that's the reason why you're about to open up into new things. Like, you know what? I'm kind of glad that this environment shaped up the way it did, because even though it's massively inconvenient to me, it also tells me where not to stay. Okay, here we go. Be proud of yourself. Gemini got this as well, but for different reasons, but still. Well, actually, no. They showed me abundance in and of their own right, too. Last quarter, Moon in Taurus, but be proud of yourself. Yes, you have a lot here to be proud of. Okay? You do. You've put in some good work over the years. QI. That's not enough. We need more. Come on. We have 2 O's. H, W. We have the Medallion of Gemini in the reverse, the keyword here being intelligence. Some of you have some very strong Gemini on your chart. And for some of you, Gemini season, which is right around the corner, might be your window to that new opportunity. The process has already begun, however. I always snake in the grass, venomous, ankle biting. Yeah, we see that. Okay, Libra, honey, I hope this helped you. Good job. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Taurus, welcome to your Sunday check-in, and of course, happy birthday. What's going on? Show me, Taurus, please. Okay. The Empress. The Page of Cups. The Four of Cups. Okay. Page of Wands. The Star. The Emperor. Oh, you see that? We got bookends here. The Empress and the Emperor. Okay. Just FYI, we got 2 people on the board today. King of Pentacles. That is you. 10 of Swords. And the Ace of Wands. Kind of mixed emotions there. As one might expect, you have reason to have mixed emotions. You've been disappointed before. I know. The Empress, Page of Cups, and the Four of Cups. You're showing me, look, I'm me. I know who I am. Thank you. Thank you. I'm the Empress. I'm proud of who I am. Okay. I spent my lifetime building myself up, understanding myself. Okay. My own sense of self-worth, but also my own sense of productive value. Generosity, love, what I stand up for, what I build into, why, etc. And you're like, look, I've been disappointed by this before. Page of Cups, Four of Cups. Realistically, you're saying it's hard for me to open my heart in a particular direction. Because I've been disappointed. Like, I don't deny it. It's true. And the whole thing with the Emperor and Empress is that ideally they are each other's equals. So when they disappoint each other, they tend to disappoint each other equally. But yes, by all rights, we have someone here whom is your equal, or at least you have designated them as such. Page of Wands, the Star, the Emperor. They're also showing me a page. In a sense, okay, I'm going to open up too, but I just want to let you know how much this means to me. The Star, Emperor. So it's coming from a place of authority as well. As much as you do, they do as well. Okay? And this is how you two see each other. Your two's opinion or evaluation of each other means everything. Okay? So when you disapprove, they would know. And vice versa. Okay? So to this person's credit, they want to open their kind of desire or vision towards you better than wherever it is that they're coming from. Because you distinctly said, it's really hard for me to continue to open my heart in your direction for any number or variety of reasons. It's like, I hope you understand that. And they're like, I do. Okay. Let me show you what this means to me, or allow me to prove it. So they're doing what they're supposed to do as Emperor, and what you would do for them if it was the other way around. Because you two have given each other that designation. Okay. King of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, Ace of Wands. There you are. Okay. Your sense of self-worth is still very much intact, but you admit this is hard. Ten of Swords, Ace of Wands. But you are going to show this a positive influence of energy, hope, attraction, this kind of thing. But you admit it's hard. In some way, this Emperor has lost believability, particularly where it comes to I don't know, being included in the vision, being on the same page with you in kind of a large-scale way. Fulfilling their end of the bargain or role, whatever it is that they agreed to. They've disappointed here. But I do see them trying a little bit more to make good on that credit or whatever it is that they said they would do. Okay? But yeah, it's not easy for you. It's kind of, I put a lot of energy into this already. But still, you really do, at the end of the day, hope that they will live up to that promise. Ten of Swords, it's kind of hard to hang around and find out a little bit. Okay. We'll take a look. The Empress, Page of Cups, Four of Cups. Let's take a look at you. The Sun, the Four of Swords, the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so you've already made that choice between you and you. The Sun, Four Swords, Four of Pentacles. You're holding on to this. For the time, you just showed me some very strong fours here. Four, four, four. Four of Cups, Four of Pentacles, Four of Swords. Like I said, you already had that dialogue with yourself. That for the sake of happiness, okay, for yours, and then possibly this person's whom is attached to you. You're like, I'm going to hold on to this. But more than that, I'm going to allow it to hold on to me too. And we're going to try to rest on this, show it some healing. I want to give them the opportunity, okay, to make good on that star. Like I gave them this role for a reason. I want to trust them a little more to fulfill that role. I am holding on, okay? Like I am holding on. Because you can still remember the vision of the sun with this person. There's something here then that's been affected in terms of generosity and happiness. Okay. The Empress tends to be very, very giving. She tends to be very generous by nature, be you male or female. This is someone who tends to be very, very generous by nature. Gives the best of their years in terms of productive value, giving value, creative value, loving value, and then just frankly, production. Could be associated with work too. But this is someone who gives the best of their years so that others may thrive. And so this person then, their kind of sense of health really largely depends on what's fed back into them. Okay. So you're saying your personal happiness has been hard to get from this connection. It hasn't been sustaining you so well in terms of warmth and happiness. It's been hard for you to thrive personally, emotionally, to feel supported, loved, TLC. But you understand they got the goods. That's why you gave them the assignment to begin with. So you kind of want to you want them to step up into their assignment a little more. Because again, they choose their equals, not their lessers. All right? And that's literally the bookends here. Okay, so I think what you concluded here is reasonable, is fair. All right. I will continue to keep my heart space open towards this, but please stop letting me down. Stop disappointing me. I don't ask for much. Give me a little bit more about what I need, please. Okay. All right, so you were clear then. Good. You were clear with your needs, your expectations. Good. It's not just holding on for the sake of it. You could have shown me that. Any Taurus anywhere could have shown me that. Well, I'm holding on to this. I don't really know why. Maybe it'll work one day. Who knows? That's okay. Yeah, but you're like, no. This is for good reason. Okay. All right. Page of Wands, the Star, the Emperor. To be clear, I'm glad you're expressing your needs because I can tell you're that person who tends to lend itself to generosity more. You're willing to overlook a lot of things, all right? But at some point, honey, the tree has to be fed, okay? It has to be sustained too. All right, Page of Wands, the Star, the Emperor. The Wheel of Fortune, Six of Wands, Ten of Swords. Yeah. Okay. So this person may have focused a little too much on their own sense of triumph. Focused a little bit too much on themselves, their dreams, their goals, their wishes, maybe just having their way in terms of whatever their pathway means to them. The Wheel of Fortune, Six of Wands, Ten of Swords, but it didn't necessarily make them happier. There's a sense of needing to win or triumph attached to this person, stretched out over a long period of time, but it actually lended to that Ten of Swords. Okay? It's almost like they forgot to share the energy with you in terms of the star, the goals, its meaning and significance, and how they find you in it as a participant or a contributor. And so I see them trying to put more of that outwards to you now. I'm sorry for not including you in this more. I'm sorry for not giving you more of the energy that you needed. I tended to focus more on my needs or my wants, and you supported for a long time, and I see that. The Wheel of Fortune, Six of Wands, Ten of Swords. But again, that sense, it's like at what cost, though? So whatever triumph they got, that sense of recognition, visibility, a sense of role or importance or visibility in their world, however you're part of it, I don't think they gave enough back to you, but that's stretched out over time, so it's really hard to pick up the details on this one. Because I'm seeing what looks like the energetic exchange for the next couple of weeks, but this has been a long-standing thing. Long enough for you to understand how you've been disappointed and hurt by this person's negligence. You know, while they kind of focused on whatever's important to them, they're trying to show it back to you now. So it's not so far gone down the pipeline that we have anything that can't be repaired. You're showing me the willingness to let them try to repair. And I see them learning, I probably should have done this sooner. You know, put some of that energy and that good intention and that hope and desire back onto my Empress or my Taurus here. Okay. But it looks like they spent a lot of time reaching for something that was important to them and forgetting to include you more and more, and your role of support here, generosity, that kind of thing. And we need it returned to us too, honey. You can be as generous as the day is long, but at some point you need it returned to you in order to sustain that particular value. Okay. And I have to say, and I say all the time, all cards in tarot, all energies, all elements have pros and cons. And the Empress's biggest con by far, a couple ways. If there is a sense of falseness of one's self-worth, that's the biggest con by far. That's not your problem, though. Yours is the classic one in that you can be too generous. And you don't ask enough in return, okay? The King of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, and the Ace of Wands. Queen of Swords, the Five of Cups, and the Lovers. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're working. The both of you are working really hard to put good energy into this and still remember each other in a way that's practical, down to earth, but still spiritual, emotional, and sexual, and all that stuff. It's the both of you are trying to remember how your pieces fit as a more intimate, powerful entity instead of this is my role and this is your role. And somehow we started to become more divided instead of cohesive on the subject. And so, yeah, I see two people here on the more down-to-earth side. This is me trying to reconnect with you in a powerful way, and you're trying to return it in a powerful way. Yeah, Queen of Swords, Five of Cups, Lovers. I mean, there's no hard conclusions here, except that I see two people trying, honestly trying. All right, it's kind of hard to cut through the red tape, the garbage that is the Ten of Swords and the Five of Cups, because you have an outstanding history with this person. They're afraid of disappointing you further. They want you to remember your two's connection in a way that's strong. And you're like, I want to give you that energy. I do. But in order to give you any more energy and positivity, you need to give me more back. So again, you two are still continuing to work that out. There's no hard lines on this one. Just because I see a Ten of Swords is not a strong indication of anything. No, not at all. I need to see more evidence in that, and I did not see that evidence today. Okay? You two are at the initial stages of recognition of a long-standing issue, okay? And then trying to get reacquainted with meeting your needs, the both of you. Kind of like how it was so easy in the beginning, you didn't have to think about it. Well, we're having to relearn it now. Easier said than done. Okay? But yeah, it's strong, honey. It's strong. There's a reason you two gave each other those roles. This is what I see in you, and it speaks to me. We are each other's equals. I see why. Do you see how it started? Strong connection. But that strong connection, if taken for granted, you know, yeah, there can be a lot of outstanding pain in there. So, you're making the choices you are. They're making the choices that they are. I like how they're owning that Ten of Swords a little more. It's like, okay, by me doing my thing and insisting on kind of doing my thing or reaching my goals and not including you as much, I understand how it hurt this connection. I do. My successes don't mean much if I'm hurting you in the process. That kind of thing. You know? There you go. You're giving it a fair shot, so are they. But I have to say, the underlying energy between you two is quite powerful, despite the Ten of Swords and the Five of Cups being there. In a way, you two both very much understand what you have in each other, and that's beautiful, and that's bold, and that's brilliant. You two were clearly lovers before you were Emperor and Empresses. And we can remember that, the strength of it. Okay. I know, I see it, honey. I see it. I see it. I see it. I see where I started asking for less and gave too much. And, you know, they can see it's like, okay, this is where I focused a little bit too much on me and my goals for a little too long. And I forgot to get back to you. The regrets here between the two of you. The both of you, because it takes two to participate. You ever know what it's like to be like, okay, I'm overgiving and I know I'm overgiving, but that's the support you need. And I see that. And I'm going to kind of patiently wait here and understand that one day it'll be returned to me. And that one day stretched out over a long period of time. But you are allowing them the space to kind of make it up to you and put more back of that shining light literally onto you. Okay? So I'm sorry they got negligent with their spotlight. You know, it sounds so cheesy. I'm sorry. You remember that song, The Wind Beneath My Wings? Oh, honey. They might have had the wings, but you were the wind underneath it. I promise you. And the wind doesn't get much credit. So every now and again, the one with the wings needs to look back on, well, honey, you weren't just the wind. You were also the roots. You were the generous, loving support system. You helped shape the world while they were doing their big fancy thing. I don't know what it was. If it weren't for you, they wouldn't have grown so much or come to expect these triumphs that are associated under their energy as acting emperor. So anyway, God, you guys got some big picture energy attached to you today. None of this, well, I'm just connecting with somebody. Little peanuts. No. We don't have any of that today. This is something that some of you, by the way, Taurus is your Saturn placement. That's cool, which is very advantageous for Tauruses right now, I believe. But there's contracts, careers, commitments. Yeah. So it's not so easily, whatever this is, it represents a lifetime of work between you two. Yeah. We're not going to just like, no. The both of you, you're working through this in your own respective ways. Okay. I see how you two started out, and I see how things ended up, but nevertheless, I still believe you two made good choices in each other, and that's clearly here. All right, be proud of yourself. Hell yes. Last quarter moon in Taurus, that's you. You're not the first person to get that, but it's also indication now of Taurus season. Oh, and this is coming up, full moon in Scorpio. Breathe through the tension. We're going to have some tense moments. We're going to breathe through those moments, and we're going to express ourselves. Okay, we're going to listen. We're going to express ourselves. We're going to listen. I want you to do a little more expression, though. and they need to do a little more listening. But between those two concepts, we're going to breathe through that tension. And the full moon of Scorpio is coming up. So yeah, for many of you, this is going to represent a new stage of development and a long-standing, powerful connection. Okay? All right. Now, what's my point? Alrighty. All right, we have the letters G, P, and two P's. We have the butterfly. Your two's connection is clearly under a space of transformation now. I understand that. And then we have the medallion, of a child. Children might be involved. There might be a sense of childlike wonder or possibly dependence or, it's like you act like this big person, but really you're like a child and you need to be taken care of. I don't think that's it, though. You two have been marked with really strong principles of maturity. But no, that's nurturing. Nurturing, honey. I get the nurturing off this one. It's nurturing. All children, they just want to be loved. And you want to be shown that love and nurturing thing that the earth signs are so well known for. Okay. All right, Taurus, honey. I hope this helped you. Put in the comments as you see fit. Take care. Be well. Virgo, welcome to your Sunday check-in, and your message has been blessed by Our Lady Perpetual Lawn Care. I'm surprised somebody waited this long. Okay, like I said in the opening, we're expecting rain like any hour, but the clouds have held out. It's held out. It's held out. And somebody, my neighbor, one of them just couldn't resist. They're like, I gotta get the mower out. It hasn't rained yet. I can beat the rain. I can do it. Good luck. Good luck, my friend. And maybe they're right. And when people try to beat the clock on weather, yeah, you never know. You never know. But I can't blame them. It's like I can beat the rain. I can. What's going on? Show me, Virgo. What's going on? What's going on for it? Virgo. La-da-da. Two of Swords. The Emperor. And the Sun. You're like, I don't know how I'm going to be happy, but I'm going to find out. Okay. Eight of Cups. Queen of Swords. Five of Cups. Virgo is out of here. That's how you're going to be happy. Ace of Cups. And Queen of Wands and the Six of Wands. Ooh! Look who's kicking butt today and taking names. Look at you. I'm not saying it's not a challenge. Don't take it as one. This is either yours or it's not. I have to say it's impressive. Now I'm going to clarify and I'll see all the nonsense. But I have to say, yours is like, that's how I roll, baby. Wow. Okay, I see how you roll. It's Two of Swords, the Emperor, the Sun. You're like, like I said, I don't know how I'm gonna be happy. Maybe this is stupid. Maybe this is a bad idea. But we're gonna find out. Oh, look at that. Look at that. You're like, I don't know exactly where happiness is going to be found, but it ain't here. Eight of Cups, Queen of Swords, Five of Cups. There's something here you said you figured out. And it was a painful thing to figure out, I grant you. So while I'm making light of it, the fact of the matter is this was like a grueling task in understanding disappointment, fundamental disappointment that cannot be recovered. It's something where you understand it's so fundamentally disappointing. You're like, there's... I would be foolish to stay. And once you have insight like that, you really can't take it back. You can refuse to act on it. That's true. That's a choice. But you can't take it back. So that means you'd have to live with that knowledge if you choose to stay. And you're like, I'm not doing that. I've had this insight. I can't take it back. I need to act on it. Yeah. Eight of Cups, Queen of Swords, Five of Cups. You're out of there, but it's very painful. I'm out of there. And you're like, I don't know if what I'm doing here is going to lead to happiness, but I need to find out. I don't know if this is my best choice or my only choice, but it's the choice that's right for me. Okay, I'll take that. Ace of Cups, Queen of Wands, Six of Wands. Whew. Brand new day. I don't know when your brand new day is. You're making it look easy, but this is quite the process. These kind of things take time. So don't be surprised if I see a kind of stretched out timeline. But you're showing me results that suggest I'm on the path to love. I'm rock and roll here. I will take no prisoners. I'm turned on. I'm excited. You can't stop me. Wild horses couldn't pull me away. Like Queen of Wands, Six of Wands. You're like, I will have triumph in the heart space. I will love again. I will live again. You know? I will shine bright. I will have victory. You watch me. Okay. I'm watching you. Let's talk about it. Two of Swords, the Emperor, the Sun. Whoa. Two of Swords, the Emperor, the Sun. Page of Cups, Two of Wands. That decision's very fresh. Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, you had a choice to make something work and understand if that made you happy. Or not. And I think many of you faulted to make something work for a very long time. You made that decision for many years of your life. But then you started to question that. Is this how I'm really happy? Is continuing to make something work? Just because I can doesn't mean I should. Correct. And it could have to do with work. You're showing me elements that are a lot more personal to you, such as I would see with these kind of bigger emotional implications. But yes, this could be a decision at work, understanding fundamentally that what you do doesn't make you happy anymore. And you've been questioning it for a long time, but you assumed to keep doing it because you figured the sunshine was still in there. Yeah, but I'm not seeing it that way today, but again, take it as it resonates. You being an earth signs tend to put a lot into that pentacle. Okay. But yeah, I mean, you were that person. You opted to keep a heart space open towards something here to make it work in the name of making it work, and then you started questioning about whether or not that's a good thing. Is that the best use of your empowerment as the Emperor as you understand it? Is this what sunshine is? Is this what happiness is making the same decision over and over again? Because it seems to me it's like, if I'm working so hard for my happiness, I'd have more results of happiness, right? Should I start making different decisions? Okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Thought I saw something. Like, what's that? Oh, it's nothing. It's one of my buttons. Ace of Cups, Queen of Swords, and the Five of Cups. But yeah, I'm out of here. Seven of Wands, the Six of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles. You are insisting that you do this. And it's a firm insistence of, as we discussed, it was a painful truth. You can't take it back. So you kind of live with it and act like you're cool with that truth, or you can choose to leave it behind. And that's what you're doing. You're insisting to. Don't get me wrong. Someone's asking you not to make that choice. There is some underlying resistance in there. You shall not go, Virgo. I won't let you go. And you're like, oh no, I'm done. I'm already gone. Row your boat out of here. So I'm not saying you're slamming the door on the way out, but you are insisting on walking away. Yes. The focus here is not the resistance or who it's coming from. The focus is your insistence on going. Once more, that decision is correct for you. And I get you, honey, coming from that space of practiced habit here of always kind of showing or demonstrating a commanding authority. It's my decision to work in this and build in this. And the reason I always did so, Christina, is because I had the idea that I always had something to work towards that would make me happy. But I've been questioning that decision a lot these days. And when you kind of dug deep there into that question, what you found is that there's not enough real reason for you to stay emotionally. Practically, could you? Yeah, you could keep practically making that decision. And say that's a source of power for me, that's empowerment, that's my choice, that's my decision. And it would have been your decision to continue on that way, yes. But when you thought about it logically with the Queen of Swords, I'm not willing to continue to make practical decisions over an emotional absence. I should probably feel something here other than pain and disappointment. So that's fair. And this is where, you know, I will often see that conflict, not just for earth signs, but anybody. There's practically what I've been doing, and it's been serving me okay. I can't say it necessarily makes me happy anymore, but practically speaking, it functions. And then there's, but this is what I actually feel. And I don't want to keep fighting that. You know, so I know these things are easier said than done. This is going to represent a certain amount of time and investment to separating from this. I do see it, like I said, stretched out over shores. And by that I mean it's not just a hop, skip, and a jump process. Okay? There is some resistance, like I said, but you are insisting on opening the door and walking through it. I don't think you're trying to slam it, though. Yeah, I am sorry there's so much disappointment here, honey. I am. But you're listening to yourself, and that's what matters. It's still coming from a place of empowerment. It is. It's just how you use that empowerment has shifted a little bit from a practical form of investment and empowerment to this is how I really feel. Okay? And honoring that. Ace of Cups, Queen of Wands, and the Six of Wands. Ace of Cups, Queen of Wands, Six of Wands. Two of Swords, Ace of Wands, the King of Wands. And there it is. There it is again. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be happy, whatever the hell that means, but I'm going to try. I feel good about it. It's not just you. You seem to be sharing a kind of frequency with somebody a little further out. I don't know who it is, but you're both showing similar characteristics. So it's no wonder you feel triumphant. Whoa. We got a couple aces here and two people sharing a very similar frequency. I got two very excited people connecting. Be like, I don't know if this is where happiness is found, but I got a clue. Kind of like I don't know if what I'm about to do is going to make me happy, but it's got to be better than where I'm coming from and what I've been deciding, as we discussed. And then over here, like Two of Swords, is this happiness? Because this ain't bad. Wow, I don't know how much further out that is. I have no idea. I don't know. Some of you are in the process right now of closing that gap between your present and future energies. So that makes me wonder then, how long have you been parting ways with this? It takes a long time for the Emperor to change his mind. He's used to, or accustomed to doing things a certain way because they understand it works for him. So it takes a lot for the Emperor to understand when something stops working for him. Okay. Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands, King, Queen of Wands. Oh my, yes. Six of Wands. No wonder you're feeling victorious. Anybody would with sharing that kind of frequency with somebody. Whoa. Well, your heart's down. The energy's down between you two. Take it from there. I don't know. So yeah, it makes me wonder. Perhaps you'll show me on the oracle cards. But thank you for having such an efficient reading today. I really appreciate that. Inefficient, by that I mean a shorter isn't necessarily a bad thing. I don't know why people equate those two concepts. It's like, oh, a longer reading means she cares more. A short reading means she doesn't care. No, that's never what it means. It usually means there's just less to read. That's it. That's all there is to it. You know, shorter books have less to express, so you read them faster. That's all, something like that. Typically, Capricorn, because that's actually part of their literal power structure as a collective, is efficiency. And that's why the earth sign that tends to not necessarily move faster, but concentrate on what they perceive to be the most important. So that being said, efficient. You know, they can get to results a lot faster, so they almost always end up having shorter readings. And then Leo, because of that freaking, you know, dominant fire energy. But this one, I think, legit has to be one of my shortest Virgo readings ever. Some of you have been trying to do a rebirth or, say, transformation since the last known winter period. So yeah, for some of you, this is, like I said, you're in between those spaces between moving away from this and your new energies. Okay? Even if winter has nothing to do with it, we're in a space of rebirth. Right? Manifest, vivid dreams, destined. You've been manifesting more, but you have a stronger sense of what you're supposed to be manifesting. You have very vivid dreams, and by vivid dreams, that means kind of like waking fantasies. When you're actually awake, there you have strong ideas, and it might seem like you're checking out, or you're in the dream zone, or in the fantasy zone, but part of that is based on real want, desire. And we're manifesting from that space. And there's something else I was destined towards. Oh, you're not wrong, though. You're not, yeah, but you're not wrong, though, right? No, he's destined for more. He has some very strong waking dreams. Some of you identify as the masculine. That caught my attention. Not every underlying card does. Yeah. End of a cycle. Yeah, I see that. I know. As I said that many times. All right. Oh, I'm so nosy about that future, though. I feel so nosy about it. It's not about them or they or what you're leaving behind. It's about you and what you're up to. But I was like, well, who are you sharing that frequency with, though? Because it looks so vibrant. It looks fun. It looks happy. And even you're like... First quarter moon in Gemini, speak a world into being. Good point. Yes. As part of the manifestation process, ownership of manifestation. Okay. And that actually helps the process considerably. Okay. So many. All right. We have G, O, S, F, Z, H, and Y. We have the Medine of Aquarius, Scorpio, and Cancer. You might have any of these very strong placements in your chart, can be connecting to, or their seasons might be important to you. Particularly butterfly, i.e. Scorpio, or there you go. Winter is death, transformation, but Scorpio still technically falls under the designation of fall. How these things work out, I don't know. It's just the way it is. Anyway, time of transformation, butterfly, that kind of thing. So you might just find some very interesting Scorpio in the chart. All right, I hope this helped you, honey. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Capricorn, welcome to your Sunday check-in. What's going on? I just got done bragging on you a little bit during Virgo's reading because, it's true. It's talking about your efficiency and why oftentimes your readings are shorter. But yeah, there you go. Just to let you know. All right. What's going on? Please show me. Capricorn. Let's do one more. Let's take a look at Capricorn, please. Alrighty. The Hermit. That's funny. That's Virgo's card. The Hermit, 9 of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands. Okay, Death. Okay, Death. 4 of Swords, Ace of Cups. Good job. 3 of Swords, the Emperor, and the 7 of Cups. Okay. First of all, you're like, I am good on my own. Thank y'all. Good. I'm glad that you are. I love it when people show me they're comfortable with who they are as a person. That's the way it should be. And you have done a heck of a job, my friend, of healing hardcore, also maintaining a particular focus on your own structure and development in the real world 3D practical. So whatever it is you've been healing and working your way through and carefully appreciating and gathering and garnering experience and insight and wisdom, all good stuff. Some of my favorite stuff there at the Hermit. Some of you, FYI, might have gone back to school when you're completing. Congratulations and good job. So whatever it is that you have been reflecting on, you have also been very busy. Very. But it's a comfortable sort of busy. You're like, oh, this is my jam. This is what I do. 9 of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. It's so rock and roll. It's like you are building yourself up on your own terms, and you love it. You absolutely love it, right? It sparks a fire in you. It's like it gets you going. It's like it's better than a cup of coffee in the morning. You're like, heck yeah. I love it here. I love doing this. This is the thing I'm so good at. And this is great. I love this. So not only are you showing me a sense of experience and wisdom and walking the path, and you try to be mindful, you try to be insightful, You learn as you go and you heal as you go. Love it. Love it. Love the Hermit. Big fan. Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, but also realistically 3D. Yeah, I do my own thing and it's pretty good. I'm pretty good at it. Don't mind me. You know, okay, over here, Death, Four of Swords, Ace of Cups. You've done a heck of a job transforming your heart space there, so congratulations once more. When we look at you a little bit more on the personal side, you're saying that's where most of your healing has gone, is more on the quiet side, your heart space, the readiness of your heart, the fullness of your heart. I'm not saying you're necessarily completely ready for new love, but you're saying, you know what? You wouldn't be afraid to try it out. Over here, Three of Swords, the Emperor, Seven of Cups. There you are, tentatively, kind of exercising, right? Exercising your beliefs around healing. Okay. I believe I've transformed my heart space. I no longer feel as I once did. I no longer hurt as I once did. Maybe it's time to try it out. Now, how fast you try it out, to what degree you take it, to what depth you take it, how much you experience it, that's entirely up to you. You're showing me kind of a commanding authority on the subject. So whatever you think is best for you. Okay, so the Three of Swords here suggests we're a little afraid, and that's okay. A little bit of Three of Swords, as I've seen some other folks, is normal in the context for which I'm seeing it. Just don't allow it to completely dictate your life. All human beings, since I don't care how secure you are as a person, and you're like, oh, I'm so amazing, I'm awesome, I've done this, I've done that. I know you've done this, I know you've done that. You made that very clear, and it's confident, and it's competent. You can back it up too. You got receipts, as they say. But I don't care how awesome you are. You're always going to have that little piece of you that's like, what if I'm rejected though? Be it in love or anything. Friendships, goals, work. It's like that fear of not being understood. That's all part of the rejection process. It's like, what if I'm not accepted or good enough? Again, these are internal fear structures that sometimes surround our heart based on our own previous experience, which you said you have done ample work on. So mind you, I'm not telling you have to try to open up. You're saying you want to. It's just you have some reservations, as one might expect. Okay? But the Emperor's not doing anything he or she does not want to do. Let's make that very clear. Okay? All right. This is the portion that I really want to get into. But we begin from the beginning. The Hermit, Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. And this represents not just what you've been doing the past, week or two. Okay? No. That's a long path there. The Hermit, Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. What's up? Yeah, Five of Cups, Ace of Wands, Death. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. All right. There it is. That's what we've been working towards, folks. Right here. Five of Cups, pains, disappointment of the past. Ace of Wands. It's you had to learn over a long period of time how to stop giving energy to the past, which I know that sounds so super easy to stop giving energy to the past, David. I'm not saying you're stupid. It's just that's kind of how people's thoughts bounce around, and I don't know why. Because it sounds like super obvious, but it's not. It's not. It's the complexities of being human. We psychologically and emotionally anchor into people, places, things, situations, circumstances. This is how we understand who we are. And for the Capricorn I'm looking at, you've walked quite the path, my friend. I'm sure you've anchored yourself into many things that you're glad that you did, and a couple of things you wished you hadn't. So it was quite the process for you to stop giving energy to the past. You had to learn to stop doing that. And in so doing, you put more energy into your world. Do you see this? Did you think that was a coincidence? Do you think that's just because you had a couple of good days? No. You know, you make it look easy, but it's not. This isn't a couple of good days, my friend. This was a pathway that you built into for I don't know how long. When did you activate your hermit? So the more you, as you learn to give less to the past, particularly a sense of emotion or opportunity or vibrancy or hope or anything, when you stopped anticipating the past in a good way, when you know it was destructive to do this, it was too painful to keep doing this, when you made more of a dedicated energy to transform that, you put more of it into your actual real world that functions appropriately and healthy for you. And you saw the results, so you kept at it, and you kept at it, and you kept at it. And then we have death over, which is the segment I'm very curious about. That actual transformation over the rest and the healing about your heart space. I see what it did for your 3D world. Let's take a look at you. And by the way, for the person I'm looking at, it gave you a lot of that space of, man, the less energy I give to the past, there's really nothing I can't do in my present. Hell yeah. Very good. Death. 4 of Swords. Ace of Cups. I'm not saying you're perfect. What I'm saying is you have that real spirit. If I want to do it, if I really want to put myself into something, I will. But that means I cannot feed the past. Yeah. The past has an endless appetite, honey. At some point you have to learn to reconcile yourself to it and heal from it. And stop giving it that precious energy. We all have 5 cups, so it's not a challenge to completely eradicate it. You're always going to have a little bit of baggage. The point is that you make your baggage lighter. You stop checking in with it. You learn to set it down from time to time. So I got other things I need to do. I got other things I need to do than entertain the past. Okay. Death, 4 Swords, Ace of Cups. And 3 of Wands, the King of Cups, 3 of Swords. There's that 3 of Swords again. It's thinking 3 of Swords, but that's okay. Okay. I've given myself space. So here, 3 of Wands isn't just waiting. It's like I've given myself space in my literal heart. And it's like, I admit there's still some 3 swords in there. I'm still a little afraid of rejection. Okay, we've seen that once but twice. Consistency. Death, 4. So you know then. You know what one of your kind of weaknesses is. Okay? To give to that fear of being rejected. It's one of the reasons why we linger in the past is sometimes we're afraid of potential present and future rejection. So for some people, it's safer. Because once you're rejected in the past, it stays there, right? That's why the 5 of Cups, I say, is so romantic. It's very seductive. If we stay back there, we don't have to be hurt in the present. That's why a lot of people find healing challenging. Anyway, 3 of Wands, King of Cups, 3. I do go on and on, I know. Anyway, you're giving yourself lots of space here. Giving your heart lots of room to breathe, transform, relax, learn what it needs to learn. Feel safer by degrees to open up and poke around a little more. Okay? All you're doing is showing me claimancy. Here we have. Do we know what the King of Cups holds there? That. Okay? You're learning to be more comfortable there. And you're starting to see the opportunity of being open to love a little bit more in the present. And possibly, therefore, in the future. That's all. You had to learn to transform that heart space. Stop containing old fear and old emotions of the past and live more in the present. And it's okay. You don't need to feel threatened by that. Right? Okay. 3 Swords, the Emperor, 7 of Cups. You got this? You got this? You got this? Okay. You do got this, actually. 3 Swords, the Emperor, 7 of Cups. I see you trying. And I'm not telling you what to do. You're telling me what you gonna do, honey. It's not that. I don't tell you what to do. You tell me what you're doing. Okay? So for the Capricorn I'm looking at, I'm going to try. Because I know I can. Yes, you can. Actually. I know you can. Some of you are feeling something strong, though. I just saw you right there on the split with the Lovers. There might be some actual strong motivation there. Okay. Oh. Knight of Pentacles. You have been slowly moving towards something. Perhaps you don't know what it is yet. Because that's a very slow walk on a powerful pull. So some of you, Knight of Pentacles there, have slowly been moving in that direction. Is there something here calling you in that way? I said you want to try it out. What's up? Three of Swords, the Emperor, Seven of Cups. Okay, Three of Pentacles. Judgment, King of Wands. I see someone joined you in that space. At first, it starts out as cooperation. I'm not surprised. I know that can look discouraging, especially if you're someone who is not Earth-oriented. Let's say you just decided to check in on Capricorn because it's one of your minor placements. You're like, friend, I have enough friends. Now, I understand. This for Earth structure is very, very common. I wasn't surprised to see it at all. It's like, let's start here with the fundamentals. Let's be friends first. See, we got something to work with. Otherwise, I don't think I necessarily want to build into it. If we don't have much in common, there's not much of a point. And also, I tend to be a little practical. And then also, I got to know what I'm working with here. It's just practical. What else is there to say? It's the most efficient way to meet and connect with somebody. It just, because we can't be friends. Like, what's the freaking point? Do we even have anything in common? Because let me tell you something. I don't know, I'm just making something up. Like, I love French food, okay? And if someone's not down for that, I can't picture myself with them because I just can't. It's just the way it is. I don't know. Just making something up. But anyway, there you go. It's a very earthy process. Let's start here, and then Judgment, King of Wands. I see someone joining in this space. Again, it's not about a them or they. It's about you and your reaction and what it is you choose to do. Once more, I'm seeing from a place of authority, because you can, be aware of your Three Swords. Don't get lost to it. Don't give in to it. And let's try to, again, dial down that energy about that fear of rejection. For some of you, it's known. It's a known fear. And it's something that you've been working through, and you will continue to work through it. So I'm not surprised then you whipped out your Emperor energy here and said Seven of Cups. I officially am going to try to open up, but I will do so in a way that starts out as a safe structure. Okay, makes sense to me. Just so long as you are authentically putting in some work and it is authentically returned to you, cool. You'll be okay. You will be okay. All right. Remember, this was not for nothing. Go team. Okay. You start there, see where it goes. However, it stays friendly. Okay, it stays friendly. No obligation. But if it builds into something more, cool. Important conversation. Yes, at what point? I don't know, but you'll know. Important conversation. Busy and distracted, working a lot. Some of us have been avoiding this particular conversation because, busy, distracted. Well, you're still processing. However, family, home, and commitment is still important to you. You still want it all. But there's that freaking fear and anxiety I see for some of you, Three of Swords in the shadows. And this is something we have been working through, i.e. that important conversation. So there is someone here of influence here who has been trying to give you a sense of guidance. That can also be the Hermits as well. Point is that you are willing to learn from it and be open to receiving the messages. But some of you have been working through this concept of fear of rejection. You're such a badass, right? But it's one thing to be like an operating badass in the world. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing there. And then it's like, but this is my heart, though. It's a little different going like that. Yeah, I know. Two different things, right? Or at least it can feel that way. New Moon in Aries, go for it. Some of you, actually, Aries season wasn't too long ago. Maybe we started opening up towards this last Aries season, but regardless, go for it. Full Moon in Cancers, let your fears dissolve. There you go. Okay. We have D, Z, A. We have your medallion, Capricorn. Some of you might be double, triple, quad, Cappy. Oh. Yeah, could explain a few things. And then also could be connecting to fellow Capricorn. Your season, of course, will be important to you, obviously. But yeah, could be connecting to fellow Cappy. And then we have the Captain's Wheel, one of my favorites. You know, it's the combination of the Wheel of Fortune and the World, which I think is appropriately represented. Time moves forward always, and we'll always have space for hindsight. But time moves forward always, and in between those spaces of moving forward and reflecting backwards, doors close, doors open. So be aware of it. Okay? Cappy, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Good work in there. Take care. Be well. Scorpio, welcome to your Sunday check-in. Show me. Scorpio, please. What's going on for Scorpio? Ace of Pentacles, Six of Wands, and the Page of Swords. Okay. King of Wands, the Eight of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Judgment. Six of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles. Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. And we're talking about matters of practicality today, folks. Eight of Pentacles, Six of Wands, Page of Swords. I'm like, oh, okay. It's all right. And the Scorpio I'm looking at, you're like, it's all right. It's okay. I do okay. And you do. You're the master at your craft here. And you've had some success with it with the Six of Wands. You've had a good job here in terms of building your profile, your experience, your coin. Okay. It Page of Swords, but you're like, it's not... Honestly, though, it doesn't give me a lot of mental satisfaction. It doesn't really challenge me. Page of Swords, a little guy, but it's over a consistent construct. So it's like, it doesn't really give me a lot of, like I said, mental challenge. It's like, it's okay. I've done okay. Six of Wands, but you're like, honestly, he's like, it doesn't take much to do it. I'm good at it, though. I've had my successes, I've had my triumphs, and whatever that Eight of Pentacles is. And you're like, it served me well. It did. You're like, that part's true enough. I've gotten my recognition in that Eight of Pentacles, and it's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. But you're like, you know what is, though? That King of Wands, Eight of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. Heck yeah. You're about to up that ante at work and your career. Congratulations are in order. We're making it happen. I don't know how long it's taking you, but you're making it look super easy. I do know this, in the Eight of Pentacles, you spend enough time in it to understand what it's about. And then again, it's like in that space of I had triumph with it, I've had success, I've had recognition, thank you very much. But it's not exactly, like I said, the most mentally satisfying. But you're over here like this, though. This matches my ambition. Yeah. We're fired up for this one. So we're going to be communicating our Ace of Pentacles soon for some of you. Congratulations are in order. You do have a decision before you in future based on lessons, balances, Six of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and making the most of them in terms of, ultimately you have to decide what's best for you, your sense of balance, practicality, growth, knowing your self-worth in order to achieve that growth, and what does that mean to you. So do not accept any offers that are less than, okay? Especially if you're concerned with matters of long-term, okay? Peace and balance for you and prosperity for the long term. So make good choices, and that's what you are intent on doing. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start with that opening. Ace of Pentacles, Six of Wands, Page of Swords. You ever had one of those jobs that's largely operational in practice, but it's not very satisfying, you know? But it did allow you some growth. But still, it wasn't very challenging, you know? You're saying you grew into that kind of rapidly, and then you grew out of it too kind of rapidly. Ace of Pentacles, Six of Wands, Page of Swords. Knights of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, Knight of Wands. And frankly, for some time now, you have been contemplating, quote unquote, your next move. And it's coming from a good place. It's a well thought out space on your part to build a blueprint. Particularly, once more, we're looking at coin today here, folks. Take it as it resonates, but yeah, we're looking at coin. Knights of Pentacles is the only knight associated with a blueprint or a plan. So slow, yes, but the one responsible for carrying out the plan. So he's going to move a little slower. Wants to make sure we have all our steps outlined, P's and Q's minded, this kind of thing. The Hanged Man, Knights of Wands. Yeah. And the more you put into that plan, or you did, this represents some time that you've been contemplating this. Active work. You've met your successes in that. You met your benchmarks. You met all that stuff. But again, once more, not satisfied. You grew out of it quickly. But what you've been carefully cultivating is your next move. And what does that look like? Because you want it to be of some importance, some significance. And also you want it to lend itself to a punch of energy, something that you can be excited about. Knight of Wands, you're like, yeah, that's going to get me going in the morning. That's what I want to do. So we've been carefully shaping the next thing and how to get there. More to the point. And then here we go. Here's the execution of that. I like how you fast forward. So I don't know how long you were at this current role, but it was long enough to understand you don't have much more to learn. I know. I'm one of those people too, honey. I have to be mentally satisfied with my work, otherwise I can't just clock in and out. I can't do it. I always need something to work on. I always need a puzzle to solve, and that's kind of like the Scorpio I'm looking at here. King of Wands, Eight of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Six of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, the Page of Wands. Yeah, oh, you got to trade one off for the other. That's how these things go. Yeah. I understand. And you're not, but I tell you what, you're not exactly having a hard time saying goodbye to them. Sorry, it's making me chuckle. But it does represent a transition, so there's going to be a trade-off here. You ever been in that space where you are floating your new opportunity while you're still wrapping up your old one? And then you're kind of doing two jobs. You know what that's like. But here, you're kind of slowly easing out of the responsibilities of your old ace, which again, you maximized. You told me there wasn't much more to put into it, and that includes your energy as well. You're already drifting away from it, even while you accept the new thing. So again, congratulations, we're in order. I'm sorry, it's making me chuckle. But no, it's like I want you to do what's right for you, always. You're saying that this new opportunity is the bee's knees. It gets you excited. It's got that buzz that you were craving back here. The energy you wanted, a little bit more room for creative flexibility there, something that you could feel good about, and something that better reflects your ambitions. So that involved, like I said, a blueprint, a plan that you've been building up to, and at some point you started executing the communication and the actions to acquire that Ace of Pentacles. You started making inquiries, you started making, again, doing what needs to be done in order to secure that new Ace of Pentacles. And while you enter it, you exit the old one. But there is definitely some overlap like so. Okay? Here's the old one. Here's the new one. Okay? There's some overlap there. But yeah. No, I completely understand it. I get it. But for a while there, you will be managing a couple of things. But you're up for it. I think you're up for it. You look like you're up for it. Judgment, Six of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. I feel that I'm looking at a Scorpio who is satisfied with their choices, which is good. Because according to this, you already started making them. So yeah, choose carefully. You did. But of course, always play to your strengths. Always know what's worth your worth and what will balance for you and your particular structure for the long term. Okay. Judgment, Six of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. You look pretty satisfied with your choices. I hope I didn't disappoint too many of the collective today or the collective's cross watchers. But yeah, this one was, it was coin across the board, and I have no problem with that. I love it when people show me what they're doing, you know, how they're experiencing the work, what they think about it. I think I wanted, yeah, Libra. Was it Libra? Yeah, it was Libra. If you have any strong Libra in your chart, perhaps check those out. They had heavy notes of career move as well. Okay, Judgment, Six of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Eight of Swords. I had a feeling I was going to see that. The Hermit and the Five of Cups. Yeah, okay. It's kind of like saying reflectively, it's a shame that didn't work out, but honestly, I put this off, and that's my bad. I have a lesson in that. I knew some time ago I was dissatisfied. I knew some time ago this had reached its top out point, and I had to take quite a bit of time to reconcile myself to that, because this is very indicative to water signs with that Five of Cups. We take things personally, yeah, because it's very water. You know, if we can't emotionally invest in something, including our work, it's like, what's the point? Again, it's like you have that nature where you can't just clock in, clock out. I mean, if that satisfied you, you would have stayed. And so you're thinking about that, the Hermit and the Eight of Swords, and why didn't I see this sooner? And, you know, it's equal parts joy that you're doing something new, and it's a little more important to you, and you can see how it's going to add to your longevity in future. But it's also a sense of sadness, and I should have been doing this sooner, or don't just, you know what? You're here now. You're making choices for yourself now, so try not to get lost to the Five of Cups, and that's something I have to say for a Scorpio collective all the time. It is one of our minor cards. It's kind of normal for us, but the thing is don't get lost to it. We're always going to have a little bit of baggage, you know. Just try not to get lost to it, particularly when we're thinking about opportunities and ones that we may have missed or passed up, or we just wouldn't allow ourselves to see that the timing was right. That's not the point. You're here now, and the Hermit knows that. Okay, the Hermit knows. But yeah, you have some good decisions here. And it's like the next time you have an opportunity, don't delay. Don't second guess yourself. Okay? Not every opportunity comes back around twice or three times. And that's also part of Judgment. This one, I'm glad it's yours. You worked towards it. You aimed yourself towards it. You gave it a lot of planning and insight. But you know, next time, don't question it. If there's a next time. If there is another new opportunity that speaks to you and you know it can fill you better, try it out. You know, don't need to delay. No need to delay your personal goals. That's okay. All right. It was really straightforward. Oh, goodness me. Again, I just want to point out to folks, because I get this a lot. Our reading was short. Does that mean you hate us now? That's not how this works. Less time usually means less stuff. Less problems. Yours was incredibly straightforward today. You know, I hate saying that out there towards the end, but a lot of people experience that. Why didn't I see this sooner? Why didn't I allow myself to see this sooner? Well, you weren't ready. But I'm glad that you incorporated Judgment at some point, and it's kind of like a little vow to yourself. The next time something speaks to me, I'll open up to it sooner rather than later. Or I'll consider it, at least. You know? Like I said, you kind of beat me to the punchline of your decision. I saw it here before I actually saw it over here. And by then you were already processing that lesson. Because you look quite content. You look very comfortable. Okay? Spring now. Duh. But, you know. Yeah, in case we need a confirmation. So this one's either yours or it's not. Don't get me wrong. The idea has been kind of gently rolling back there for a long time. Developing a plan, but the actual execution of it, that switch off is happening here in the spring. Okay, so it's not just contained to the next week or two. So FYI, for some of you, don't be surprised if that overlap concludes a month. Okay. You said you can do it. But I think you're saying that you can do it is because you know you're also leaving it behind. So I don't know. Perhaps you have to do the obligatory 2 weeks or something. I don't know. Some of you identify as the feminine, the intuitive process specifically, regardless. Yeah, mind's eye. This is the time, isn't it? Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. Yeah, something here about soulmate energy. It could be that someone whom you strongly identify with, someone who strongly supports you, understands you, and they're kind of confirming with you your choices. I didn't see that here today. But for some of you, you already have someone who's very close to you that you might call a soulmate, who is hopefully a positive influence and might be feeding into that kind of intuitive piece. Okay? Always a good influence. You might have heard from them this spring, and they're kind of validating your thoughts and what you're making of this situation and your decision. At the end of the day, I just, I want it to be supportive. That's all. But yeah, there's some sort of feminine here. It's either you or your soulmate who is like, oh yeah, no, absolutely, this is the time. Work through your feelings. Last quarter moon in Aries. Particularly that last Aries season. For sure. Anything else here, please? No. Tell you what, though, if you found this to be a wee bit boring, check out your Intimate Tarot. That wasn't. We have the letters H, K, J, D, M. Yeah, okay, so it's now. Here we have the Medallion of Taurus. It's now. Absolutely. Congratulations. That's wonderful. I'm happy for you. When people work through their goals, even if it takes a while. And I know what that mental burnout's like. I do. And just because something's structured and it's paid well doesn't mean it's meant to be in your life forever. But we're so sentimental. We are. And we tend to be very emotionally loyal. But mental dissatisfaction is mental dissatisfaction. This was not feeding a part of your spirit in some way. I like that you recognized you had your triumphs with it, and that's probably why you stayed as long as you did. And passing up on other opportunities that I see reflecting on later, again, try not to go down that road too much. Okay? It's what you are doing here now. That's what counts. So give yourself that credit. But yeah, there's no mistake in it. It's now, honey. That's now. It's screaming now. Here in Taurus season. And it's particularly in that overlap, as I was telling you. As you exit one, you're picking up another. And there will be an overlap period roughly now in the Taurus season. Okay? But I don't think you would be doing anything that you say you couldn't handle. But just FYI. But congratulations again. Yay! All right, Scorpio, honey, I hope this helped you. Simple as it was, but I enjoyed it. I do. Like I said, I really enjoy seeing people work through their goals and make their own conclusions and have their own insights and realizations, be it in love, work, or anything else. I'm here for it. Okay, like I said, I hope this helped. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Pisces, welcome to your Sunday check-in. And by the way, I'm kind of running late into the afternoon, so if you see your message cut for any reason, just please know it will pick up right where I left off, yeah? What's going on? Show me. Pisces. What's going on for Pisces? What's up? The Ace of Swords. The King of Wands. Ace of Wands, you're like, I know exactly what's up, thank you. I don't even need your little chicken right now. Good, I don't want you to. Go, bye. The Priestess. The Page of Wands, the King of Swords. Oh, someone else knows something too. All right. Five of Pentacles, the Lovers. Oh, Seven of Pentacles. Are you like the first baseline? Not clarifiers. I know I've pulled the Lovers and clarifiers for, I think, at least one person, but you might be the first person to get it on the baseline. And this is where I like to remind people. Tarot's the proof of choice, not the absence of it. I'm not telling you nothing about what to do. This is choice between two people. I got nothing to do. I just report. Hey, man, I just work here. But yeah, some people... I love that line. I will never get tired of that. I've said that, I feel like, my whole life. Yeah, but no, this is always going to be a choice. Always. Always, always, always. And yeah, it's going to be a choice between two people. So there's someone else here on the board today. So as we go along, reverse energies as you see fit. But do keep in mind this is about your general collective core reading. What I see about them or they, or as you interpret them and they, that's up to you. Okay? Ace of Swords, King of Wands, Ace of Wands. You're like, I'm fired up. I'm fired up. I got to do this. I got to do this thing. And I'm like, okay, we're off on a new adventure here, and we're totally owning it. We've thought about it. We've thought about it many times. We're fired up. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty strong. And then I see someone else enter the board. High Priestess, Page of Wands, King of Swords. They know what they know too. They got a strong feeling about you. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't hurt. That's cool. And then the dynamic changed a little bit. 5 of Pentacles, the Lovers, 7 of Pentacles. I was like, okay. So we're putting some fresh, strong, new energy into what looks like a strong connection we're familiar with. So you have to understand the difference between new and renew. And this is a strong punch of renew. So again, if that's not your thing, that's cool. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I read what's here, not what isn't. Okay. 5 of Pentacles, the Lover, 7 of Pentacles. Again, it's a choice to build into this, to rebuild into it, and to fix what's broken. Yes. And sometimes the best way to fix what's broken is to just punch some freaking energy into it, because apparently that's the plan here. But you're fired up, honey. I'm assuming this is you. This could be the other person. Reverse it if you need to. The High Priestess is here, so technically I could say this is your portion. So do keep that in mind. But yeah, over here, I'm just going to go ahead and say you look fired up. It might even have been your idea. I'm not saying it's your responsibility, but it might have been your idea. Because there's such a strong sense of, I know this. I own it. I own this feeling. I'm attuned with it. I want to do this. Can't stop me. Don't try. Okay. I ain't trying to mess with that, Pisces. Ace of Swords, King of Wands, Ace of Wands. Let's take a look. Or maybe that's your person, and I ain't trying to mess with your person. Okay. It's okay. It packs a punch when somebody's like, oh, I know myself. Thank you. It says a lot, doesn't it? It really does. All right. Oh, I knew I saw it. I knew I saw the colors. There's the Lovers again with Temperance. Oh, is it time? Is it time? Okay. Why? Who knows? Timing is timing, particularly with these strong connections. Who knows? Guys, sometimes people show me, and sometimes it's just time. I never know. But that's why we're here. Let's talk about it. Okay. The Fool. 9 of Swords. I'm not saying you ain't stressed out, but you're stable, though. This is your truth. And you're showing me the growing confidence in your truth. You're quite stable. You're saying, I know what I'm doing. It's just sometimes I get anxious. Okay. That's everybody. 9 of Swords is the Fool, but you're like, I'm going to do it. I know who I am. I'm an outstanding Pisces. Look at this. Look at what I've done. Look at my achievements. I'm strong. I'm viable. I contribute. I'm highly connected. I did this. I did this. I'm still a little nervous. 9 of Swords and the Fool. There's still some nervousness here. But it's almost, that's what I'm saying. You had to amp yourself up, didn't you? That's what I'm saying. Sometimes that Fool, you can get nervous. But just know the difference between fool positive and foolish. From what I can tell, you're not looking foolish. It was just fears of the mind, wondering if you can really allow yourself to open up towards this. So I see you putting the smack on it with the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands. You're like, I believe in it, and I believe in myself. Okay. Okay. Woo! You look so psyched up. All right. Nervous, though. I wonder how long you put this off. And, well, again, I'm saying someone's got to come forward. But I like how you give yourself like a last-minute bolster. Okay. The High Priestess, Page of Wands, King of Swords. What's up? This person's intuitive as well as intelligent. And I see them opening. And again, that's coming from a space of determination, therefore choice. They feel what they feel. They know what they know. And then there's that little guy, Page of Wands. So there's an admission there of nervousness, too. It's not a lot. But that's what Page of Wands is. A little bit of nerve, literally. A little bit of nerve. Okay. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so tuned into this. All right, what's going on? The Lovers, you say it once, you say it twice, baby. They want to be there, too. Okay. Yay. Between the two of you, you're sporting a couple of aces. But it's over the Lovers. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm right, but I'm just trying to say that that's what's there. You know, been doing this a long time. Trust me, I've seen crazier things. It's actually not crazy. It's just powerful. It's just powerful. Neither one of you seems to be too interested in telling me why or the background. I know there's a background, guys. You're screaming at me. There's a history. Everybody's got a history. Sometimes people, a lot of time actually, collectors will go out of their way to show me the history. And this is what happened. This is how they pissed me off. And this is how they hurt me. And this is what I might have done to them. That tends to be a smaller confession. And then people will be like, this is where I'm at now. And that's what counts. And that's what actually two people happen to be showing me today. I'm sure you two have a history. I'm sure. But they feel that they very much want to be here. They own that with their mind. They own that with their spirit. And again, they're making a choice to show up. You're doing something similar, but it's much more from a practical, logical, and then energetically present point of view. Theirs is like, I feel strongly about this, and I'm going to act on it. Okay. Yeah. Oh, no, there's a lot of appeal in here. A lot. You two both carry a lot of attractive qualities. It's kind of easy to discern, you know? I can see why you two are attracted to each other in ways that are big and small. Okay. 5 of Pentacles, the Lovers, 7 of Pentacles. But yeah, there's some growth here where two people need to work on it. Okay? I need to work on it realistically in terms of practically building into this. The structure, well, it's more like the infrastructure. It needs a little work. Okay? I like how the choice systems are in place. That's imperative. One moment, please. And we're back. Okay, now, down here, like I said, the both of you have to put and make the decision to put good, solid work into the infrastructure. 5 of Pentacles, the Lovers, but from an independent space in both of you, you both seem to know what you're working with. Oh, this gives me such a sense of vitality and inspiration. I'm loving this. I like their quiet, solid, strong way of knowing, and you're like... But it is great. It's interesting. Don't get me wrong, honey. I have every reason to believe that this could be you. Technically speaking, the water's here, the intuitive process. Pisces is here in terms of your superpowers. But I still strongly feel this is you. I don't know how to explain that. 5 of Pentacles, you let me know. If you identify, you let me know. Okay? Ultimately, you tell me. 5 of Pentacles, the Lovers, the 7 of Coin. Okay. Oh, Ace of Cups, 2 of Wands, and the High Priestess. Okay. Okay. That's interesting. They're drawing attention back to this, the High Priestess. Ace of Cups, 2 of Wands, the High Priestess. Someone here had to make a decision from the heart to open back up. To be present, to want to be present, to allow themselves to be present. It was a feeling for this person. It wasn't easy to understand. But developing, or rather allowing themselves to develop emotional trust in this. To feel safe. To give and receive from the heart. Okay? Don't get me wrong. It's always going to take two. And you two are making very powerful choices. There is progress here, but it's slow progress. Like I said, work needs to go into the infrastructure. But it's an improvement. 5 goes to 7. 7 is still an improvement over a strong construct, and that's the power of choice. But one person here, i.e. you're both working on it, but one person here had to make the decision to be emotionally present after having walked away, or perhaps it was never fully available to begin with, but I feel like this is more in line with an intuitive decision to be open and available where they said they had walked You seem to understand or recognize that in your own way. Okay. Well, what can I say? I don't know where this story will take either one of you. But you two are doing more than trying. I'll say that. You're giving this a damn good shot to both of you. Okay? I'll see a lot of people like, the lovers, I want to get the band back together. But it's in kind of like and that's fine. You know, 3 cups and a couple pages here and there, fine. But I have never seen more, if ever, the example of 2 people choosing from higher spaces within themselves to try to make this damn thing work. You could have pointed out the past. They could have pointed out the past. That didn't really happen. I do know this. Someone had to make the conscious decision to go back into the space of the heart. And you acknowledge it in some way, or they acknowledge that in you in some way. Okay? Vanity, pride, letting go of ego. Whatever that means. Who knows? It could be that sense of nervousness here. I don't know. How will I be perceived? How will I look? If I come forward, does that mean I'm weak? That is a form of... That might be something someone's struggling with, if not you, then them, because they have that kind of space, but from the emotions. If I allow myself to open back up towards that, does that make me an ego-driven, prideful fool? What does that make me? So someone here, maybe the both of you shared that a little bit. How will I look? Would I be foolish? Am I stupid? And it's something here about vanity, pride, and it's time we see it. Okay? A dark night of the soul. That's what I'm saying. Someone here is subject, or the both of you are a little too much pride. You have your version of it. They had theirs. I don't quite know. But it's a dark night of the soul. A lot of confrontation of the worst parts of ourselves. So that would suggest growth. Life-changing decision. I don't get this one too often. I'll see decision all the time, but not life-changing decision. I told you. I see when people can choose all the time. And they contemplate and contemplate it. This is past the point of contemplation for both sides. I told you distinctly 2 people are actively choosing at the highest spaces in themselves to do this. What the results will be, only you two will know in time. But it represents a change on life-changing decision, on both sides at a very high level. What do I say about the lover? Perhaps it's been a while. But rule number 1 with the lovers. In order to sustain it, keep it, you have to choose it. It sounds easy until it isn't. Like, I'm choosing it. I'm choosing it so hard. And they're like, me too. But it's done so from the heart. It's a little quieter. It's a little softer. You have to trust them to be emotionally present or to come back in that space. And you have to trust that you're able to come forward and feel good about it. And that you want to. Okay? Choices everywhere. Alrighty. Ooh, this one was good. I like this one. Oh, no, it's true. It's just that some readings I like more than others. Some are more challenging than others. And it's not really about the challenge. It's more like, am I seeing growth? Am I seeing focus? Am I seeing ownership? And I had that for 2 people today. So, hey, bonus. That's awesome. But yeah, still not about them or they, and I'm going to insist on that. But they're included. Be humble. There it is again, that vanity, the pride thing. Be humble. Neither one of you has to choose this. Quarter moon in Leo, be humble. Okay, there's that vanity thing getting in the way again. Knowing when to show humility. And that means so much. It goes beyond an apology sometimes, guys. Be humble. It's also about, this is why I'm here, and I can say that, and I can admit it. And I mean, there's nothing more humbling than that. All right, first quarter moon in Aries. Step into your power. Hey, yes, love that. Some of you might have some very strong fire in your chart. It's not really the point. It's just that power drive that I saw coming through you. punching outwards. I'm going to do this. All right. And we got the charms. Like, don't forget the charms, Christina. I know. We have the letters H, P. We have the medallions of Aries, Aquarius, and Capricorn. One key word here being courageous. You might have any of these very strong placements in your chart, can be connecting to other seasons, might be important to you. Okay, Pisces, honey. I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Cancer, welcome to your Sunday check-in. Show me, Cancer, what's going on for Cancer? What's up? It's, you just hold on. I'm trying to get to you, okay? Just jumping out my hand. Ace of Cups, Page of Wands, and the Six of Swords. Okay. Knight of Swords, the Hanged Man, the Nine of Swords, Two of Wands, the Lovers, the Four of Swords. Hold on, just back up. Time out. Time out. Time out. You've got too much in your mind and in your spirit. So I'm glad you're doing what you're doing a little further out from now. I understand. Yes, I agree. Let's just hold on. All right. Ace of Cups, Page of Wands, Six of Swords. There was an opportunity here for new love. And initially, a little bit, Page of Wands, you were inclined towards it, but we didn't. Six of Swords. So I don't know how long it took to kind of get away from that feeling. But we at some point got away from it. Don't get me wrong. Whatever that is, it was like a fresh, strong cup. Right? You felt it in some way, Page of Wands. But you're like, no. Six of Swords, I got to go. Or you got distance from it, or distance from the feeling, or distance from the opportunity. Okay? Okay. Knight of Swords, the Hanged Man, Nine of Swords, and now I kind of got you freaking out. Like, what did I do? Okay? Knight of Swords, the Hanged Man, Nine of Swords. Was that the right thing? Because now we're thinking about it. But you're like, tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. Point my knight in a direction. I need something to do. I need something to occupy my space, my mind, something. It's like I need something to do with my hands. It's kind of like that, but with your mind and your thoughts and your actions. It's the Hanged Man, Nine of Swords. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Let's give some thought to this. Okay? Let's give some thought to this. And that's exactly what you do. I see things calm down for you mentally. Okay? What happens after that, I don't know. We'll talk about it. Two of Wands, the Lovers, and the Four of Swords. We need to enter a space of real solid reflection when you're on your own and there's no pressure. It's just quiet space for you. I can see where sometimes the activities of your life get a little loud and busy and you're used to being preoccupied. I see that. So I want you to take some much needed quiet space for yourself to reflect on that strong connection and the decisions made surrounding it. Are there any decisions left to make towards it? Or if they're done, processing them and coming to peace with them. Okay? I get it. Something hit your beautiful cup hard. I don't know if you were expecting it. You felt it a little bit. And then you're like, no. Get away from it. Let's talk about it. I want to see why. There might still be decisions left to make around that lover, but if not, then coming to terms with it, allowing yourself to be at peace with it. That's where we want to get to, okay? All right. Ace of Cups, Page of Wands. The Six of Swords. What's up? You know, strong connections, honey, can produce really strong reactions, right? As the Cancer I'm looking at knows. What's going on? Ace of Cups, Page of Wands, Six of Swords. What's up? King of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, the Empress. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, I can see why that's attractive. Oh, that's some quality energy in there. You see that? King of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, the Empress. That's quality stuff. Whoa. There's a wealth of activity that you two share in terms of common principles. Empowerment, production, individuation, contribution. Okay. Security, personal development, can-do, enrichment, the building of one's world, the stabilization of it. Very attractive energies here between the two of you. Someone here is more on the King of Pentacles side. Someone else is on the Empress side. We have some really quality energy shared regardless. There's a lot of core principles shared between these two folks. Wow. Very fruitful, very abundant. We connected to this over common values such as like work environment, endeavors, that kind of thing, didn't we? That's the only way you two could be that familiar with each other's skill sets, I think. That's just the impression I'm getting, honey. But take it as it resonates. Ace of Cups, Page of Wands, Six of Swords. I can see why we're attracted to it, yeah. But a heart space was open, and then I got to get away from that. No. Oh, but man. You felt a little something there. We wanted to react to it in some way. I mean, there's just no way you two didn't work together. I'm sorry. That's a very specific element. You two are familiar with each other's attributes. Not like that. But real world effort is assigned to the both of you. For reals. Oh my. Okay. Someone here has experience beyond their years. In other words, they have an equal amount of experience compared to the other person, but it's kind of young for their age. Cool. All right. Okay. Let's get over here and see what I see. It's very attractive, the two of you. Oh my. Because I love that attitude. I love that energy. There's nothing I can't do. There's nothing I can't do. If I put my mind to it, I love that. That's very attractive. Oh, yes. Knight of Swords, the Hanged Man, Nine of Swords. And now we're like, what happened? What did I do? We're kind of freaking out, but in a way that looks like, I'm not trying to give in to it, though. But I need something to do. Tell me what to do. Nine of Swords, the Hanged Man, Nine of Swords. Okay. All right. I wonder your cards are jumping out of my hand. Knight of Swords, the Hanged Man, Nine of Swords. The Star, the Nine of Swords. Yeah. Okay. It's there twice. Knight of Wands. No, we're still attracted to this. It's like, I got space from it. Why didn't that work? Oh, because we're still attracted to this. Honey, you made me mess up my hair. That's a serious crime. Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to laugh at you, please. It's just the tension for you, the mental tension so high right now. Why is it high for you right now? It's at like critical mass peak. Mount Everest high. Why is it so high for you right now? You know what happened. You were there. And I can see where your heart got pinged. Oh. Them? Yes, well, we work well together. I see that. But I gotta go. I can't be here for this. Okay. And then over here, Knights of Swords, the Hangman. What did I do? Oh my God, what just happened? What even just happened? But the Star, Nine of Swords, the Knight of Wands, it stresses you out that your energy still reaches backwards. And now we're Nine of Swords twice. That's pretty high. That's why I went. And with the Star, it's like, I desire this. I left it behind, but I desire this. If anything, I desire this more now than I did yesterday. Now, feel free to reverse energies as you see fit, but I'm not looking at them or they so much as your reaction to what's going on. But yeah, it could be the other way around. Lovers is here. That's always a possibility. Yes. But it's like, what happened? I got blindsided here. This wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, but it did though. Okay, the star. We're still attracted to this. We still desire this. We would still pull on it like a star, reach for it. But it's like I can't reach backwards now. But my mind still is like it's a chance, like it's a choice. It's not. It's not. I left it behind. I said so. So why am I still stressed about it? It's unresolved. Most likely. You know, that's a lot of mental entanglement. Kind of like, okay, I'm going to let this go now. No, I'm not trying to take my heart space there. But in some way it did go there. You know? But why are we processing this so heavily now? It's one of the most quiet, controlled topics of anxiousness I've ever seen. So, but it's like it's weighing on me now. Why? Why so much now? Is it just the initial shock, reaction, the fallout of this? We're processing it now? Maybe. You are trying to look at it, to your credit. But it's like the more you look at it, the more you desire it. Okay? I'm guessing there was a lot of things in that weren't said back here. Discussed or discovered too deeply. I have to admit that was a pretty quick Six of Swords trip. I'm just going to leave that behind. That's what I'm going to do. No fuss, no muss. Am I right? Well, it caught up with you in some way. I'm not trying to pick on you, honey. This is what happens. This is the interest I talk to people about. It's just another variation of the interest I talk about. The spiritual interest, the mental interest. We think we're prepared to leave something behind. It's no big deal. And then we understand how fundamentally intertwined we were with it later, much later. That's why it's just better to kind of stop and look at something there and then, instead of just assuming it's okay to walk away. I'm not saying you have to be involved with them. I'm not saying you had to give your love to them. I'm not saying you had to be open. I'm saying just acknowledging back then that that's where your heart was. A little bit. Yeah. That might have helped. It's just, there's a lot of hanging question notes and what ifs, and it packs quite the punch though. But trust me, you have my sympathy. You do. And this is exactly what I want you to do. I want you to get some much needed quiet time, because you're not going to have any more clarity over this situation because you look so busy too, when you're going from point A to point B to point C. Okay, I know you have those moments, but it usually goes back to what happened here and why. And then you have no more resolve. So you need, the Cancer I'm looking at, you need some quiet time. Okay, where you make dedicated space to understand this quietly and calmly without judgment from yourself. And to get some space from those anxious thoughts. I mean, Two of Wands, the Lovers, the Four of Swords. Let's do one more. Oh, you. Knight of Wands, yes, I understand. The attraction is there. It is. Two of Wands, the Lovers, the Four of Swords. Ace of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, and the Page of Cups. Is that it? It seems so simple, and maybe it's just the thing you needed to realize. Page of Cups, Five of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. Honey, you weren't in the space to accept the offer at the time. You weren't. You just weren't. It's not that you didn't feel it. You weren't in the space to accept it. Perhaps you didn't know how to articulate that. Okay? It's not that you didn't feel anything for it. You weren't in a position to accept it. If you were in a position to accept it, you probably would have. Like that. But because we didn't know how to acknowledge that space, that tender space, something's happening in here. I'm feeling things too. And I can see why. Hey, fair call, man. They're attractive. We share a lot of similar qualities. We know what the other person can do. Somebody here's a King of Pentacles, someone here's an Empress. It doesn't really matter. It's like we have a lot of similar qualities. They're impressive. What they got going on is impressive. It's impressive. Yeah, okay. My heart would rise to meet them in that way if I could, but I'm not available to take that offer because it represented not just a space in the heart, but the seriousness of reality with the Ace of Pentacles. So in some way, Six of Swords, I told you, was unresolved, and that you know what that unresolved space is? The language that you're looking for, I believe. Okay, for the Cancer I'm looking at, it's very specific. Is that it's not that I didn't feel anything. I couldn't take the offer, or I couldn't make good on it, or wasn't in a position to offer you anything. But it's not for absence of feeling. And that's where I think the stress is coming from. Okay. Well, we still desire that, or that we understand now how much we desire this after we thought we'd just get space from it. I just need space. I just need space, man. I just need space from that. That freak out, which is a very controlled freak out, by the way. You must be very busy because you never really indulge in the thought too long, but it's there long enough, prominently enough, frequently enough that it freaks you out. It stresses you out. And it's like, I desire it more now than perhaps I even knew. And that's just coming from an unprocessed space, honey. It's kind of like saying, I wish I knew how to acknowledge the feeling then. And why also I couldn't take it. And I think that's the insight you needed. I think that's the insight you needed. Now, whether or not your lover's story here is done, I honestly don't know. I just want to get you past this point of just kind of mentally beating yourself up in between your busy moments. And maybe having a long night or two. Okay, I want to get you past that. I can see where your desire for this hits high notes. And then it's so uncomfortable. It's so... Six of Swords isn't always as cracked up to what it's... I'm sorry, it's not always cracked up to what people think it is. It looks easy. And it's like, that's just all I need from this is space. And we needed more than that. Okay? You were affected by this too. You felt something for it too. But you were not available to take that offer or make good on the offer. You weren't. And that's something you need to realize, but that doesn't mean you didn't have feeling. You did. You had a reaction. A strong one. If I pull advice for you, I will get so much heck. You didn't get advice for anyone else. I don't know if your lover's journey is over. I don't know if there's any more decisions to make around that strong connection, but your next decision on the topic of it be allow yourself to give yourself some peace on it. Okay. But who's to know? Who's to say? If it's complete. Que sera, sera. I don't know. I don't know if I'll see a continuation of this. But I just want to get you some peace. Counsel and therapy for some of you. It's exactly what it sounds like. Get some counsel on the subject. For some of you, you might seek guidance outside of yourself. That reflection, you might be getting help from that. Even if it's not, say, traditional counsel, could be confiding in a best friend or someone who understands you without judgment and can give you some solid reflection. Okay? That might be a very good use to you. Yeah, because I say that's a lot of mental trappings in there that you are currently holding court to here and there. And that's a lot. That's a lot of stress. Trust and divine time. Time that you will understand things more clearly for yourself. But the offer that was not able to be accepted, that might have another time in another place. I'm not doing that. I don't, based on one oracle card, the lover's journey has a way of, for some of you, simply put, someone was already contracted to someone else. Big difference between the lovers and a karmic partner. That somebody might have already been contractually tied to someone. Sure, we'll take that. But in terms of the divine timing, this might have a time and place later where the offer could not have been accepted or completed or offered, returned. Then it might have a time and place later. Okay? Like I said, I even said at the beginning, whether or not the decisions around this one are completely done, I don't know. I just want to give you a little more peace on the subject, that's all. Okay. Yeah, the Lovers has a way sometimes of continuing its storyline. That's how strong it is. Attune to the divine, new moon in Pisces. Embrace the flow of life, full moon in Gemini. Okay? Okay. F, Y, P, S, 2 P's. A Q. Didn't you get the music note last time? And I think you were the only one to pull it then. You're the only one, I think, to pull it today. Some of your music's very, very important to you. Professionally, in terms of a hobby, but above all, helps you tune. I want you to do more of that, please. You got trigger songs, don't you? Associated with this person. I know what that's like. I do. So maybe I want you to kind of lean out of those trigger songs and listen to something that just allows you to open in the general sense. Okay? And no, I'm not going to tell you what mine is. That's none of your business. It's very private. It's very personal stuff. The point is, at some point, you'll eventually learn that when you hear it, you won't have the same reaction. Okay? We have the owl in reverse. Right now, we're not seeing things clearly. No, I see that. I know. Just having the occasional, and then you got to get back to busyness, and and I got to get back to bit. Okay. There you go. That's what I'm saying. You need the space. So yeah, some very interesting Pisces in your chart. We also have the seahorse here, and that's where we have the fullness of feeling, and it feels like we can't release it. We have to keep it all close to ourselves. But the good news thing about the seahorse is that when it does release, it's going to be such a huge feeling of relief. Okay? All right, Cancer, I do hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.